Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is the funkiest bowler in town, Dan Ryan.
That's right. I put a vest on because I was missing Dean. So I put on a vest.
Oh,
just for
yeah,
him.
I guess that is a vest, isn't it?
It is. It's a polo vest. It's a Ralph Lauren.
It's a staying warm vest because clearly you're very cold.
It's cold in the basement. Ish. Office.
It's the end of the month, and that means it's time for the 10, 20, 30, 40, where we talk about notable game releases this month from decades past. Have we discovered the best name for a snowboarding game of all time? Bust out your purple hair and bazookas because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
They're right. They're
Hi,
over
everyone.
There.
This is that's where they are. That's where you keep them.
Yeah.
This is episode 607. It is the week of February 27th, 2026, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the heck else is going on in our lives. Speaking of which, how you doing?
Well, I mean, so I saw grass outside of my house for the first time in weeks today. There was a lot of rain today. Got rid of all the snow so that new snow could come Sunday night.
Can come.
And
yes,
cover
but
it back
this will
up.
just be snow. This is just going to be snow, and then it's going to go away. Whereas this was like, here's a bunch of snow, and then here's like 6 inches of ice on top of it, and it's not going to get above freezing for 3 weeks. So it's just going to be here.
It's just
have to
here.
Deal with it.
This is your life now. This is what Alaska would be like. In case you were wondering, don't fucking go. Yeah, no, it was just kind of funny. Like, everything's wet and drizzly and shitty right now. And also with the possibility of, like, hey, it's going to be, like the average male amount of snow is possibly going to happen this weekend. We're going to get right about 6 inches. It looks, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. Because, like...
I am, but I'm not, because like I don't want the kids to be off school again. I don't want them
because
to,
I hate them.
I don't want them to have to like dip into summer. I want summer to start as soon as possible.
Yeah,
and every day that they get off, they won't do a virtual day. Year. No, our school doesn't even have that as an option anymore. I don't think.
Really, that's so silly. But
couldn't agree more. They all have laptops.
We have the technology.
We have the technology, Dan, but some people just don't want to use it.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, it's fine. Things are fine. I think
things are solid over here. I've got my phone working as my webcam, so theoretically the picture quality, as long as my internet holds out, will be good. We can see Bubsy really well back there.
We definitely can.
Having a good time.
Bubsy is looking toy.
Bubsalicious.
Bubsalicious, even. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Enough foreplay.
Let's get into it.
Thankfully, nothing happened this week, so week old news is going to be a short segment. We're going to get in and out. Nice, easy podcast.
Yeah, 15 minutes tops.
Yeah, if that.
All right, well, let's start with something fairly easy. Is the 10, 20, 30, 40, our feature topic for this week. The 10, 20, 30, 40, for anyone new here, is where we talk about new game releases from February, 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. Every month we do this. And we're going to start by jumping. That's week old news. That's also week old news. Why do I have that open twice? That's the show notes. There's the 10, 20, 30, 40.
There we go.
We're going to start in the year February 2016. Let's travel back 10 years into the past. Blizzard Entertainment celebrated its 25th anniversary. GameTrailers.com shut its doors. Satoru Iwata received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the AIAS DICE Summit, and Pokemon celebrated its 20th anniversary. We're wrapping up on the previous generation here. PS3, 360, Wii, DS, and PSP are all still cooking, but just barely. The main course is PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, Ouya, 3DS, and PS Vita. So in the old area, the old arena, we have PS3 with 8 releases, absolutely nothing of value. Of those 8 releases, I saw nothing even worth mentioning. It's just a bunch of DLC and PSN garbo. Whereas the Xbox 360 had 4 releases. I'm going to assume none of them were really worth talking about, except the snowboarding game with the best snowboarding title I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard of this before, which makes me think that the game probably sucks. We had The Walking Dead Michonne. We had something called Yellowfins, something called Cobalt, and then Borders Beyond Borders. You see, Dan, they're snowboarders, right? They're borders. But they're on the mountains. They have no borders.
They have no borders.
Beyond borders.
Yes. I mean, somebody wrote that down. Like they were at a restaurant having dinner. And like, you have to imagine the conversation, like everybody's talking, then one dude at the table is like, shut the fuck up! Everybody shut the fuck up!
You know Doctors Without Borders? What if they were snowboarders?
What if they were like snowboarding doctors?
Like alliteration, right? Snowboarding doctors, but we were all about alliteration. No, fuck the doctors. It's just borders.
They're just snowboarders.
Borders. There it is. Print it, send it off to Microsoft, we'll make millions.
And indeed they did. And lived happily ever after. I'm sure.
Yeah. Borders Beyond. I love
Borders Without Borders. That's brilliant. I'm just sad and jealous and a little turned on. Yeah, that's outstanding. I've never heard. I got to look this up. What does this look like? I've
never heard of it either. Borders Beyond Borders.
Borders.
There's almost nothing on GameFAQs.
Beyond. Wow, it doesn't even come up. It's trying to give me like Borders, the bookstore, and Bed Bath and Beyond, and.
All right, I definitely found 10 years ago a video went up on the old YouTubes of Borders Beyond. Oh my God.
God.
This is not what I expected.
Well, I can't. I have to type in Borders Beyond Borders game to get. Nope, that's still not it. None of that's snowboarding.
I'm giving you a link. This is not what I expected.
Is it where did you send the link?
Be real. Into the chat in the Discord.
Okay,
the SAG chat.
Oh my God! Hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm whipping it out. What?
This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected at all. Is this real? This can't be real.
Is this the real one?
I don't know how to explain this because we're not. I mean, I'll see if I can edit this footage into the video version of the podcast.
Wait, what the fuck just happened, Kris? What the fuck?
This?
Why is he standing on a shadow?
This is so. It looks like I don't even know how do you explain this. This looks like PlayStation 1, sort of, but not.
So this looks almost like a PS1 era game, like borderline beyond border, PS2 ish, like late PS1, but it looks like
a test area.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like a skate park in one of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games that, like, your shitty little brother made. Because he's like, I made you a skate park! And it has, like, a ramp and, like, a couple of pieces of fence. And you're like, that's real fucking good, Timmy. Like, you suck and I hate you. And this is why our parents are divorced.
It only cost $1.
I feel like you got ripped off if you spent $1 on this. This is... there is nothing. There's just textureless.
The sky is just flat blue. This is incredible.
He's just standing. There's a coin. This is the wildest shit. And
I just brought up a different video from a different YouTube channel, and this is actually what this game is. That's not a joke. This is real. This game happened.
Is insanity.
Wow. I'm so happy right now. I need to know more.
So, Xbox takes this month. No question there.
Borders Beyond Borders.
I mean, beyond something.
The
Jesus
The name
Christ.
alone.
Good God.
Okay. That was not I thought the name was going to be the joke. But no. It gets even better.
Yeah.
It's outstanding. Anyway, nothing on the Wii. Nothing on the Wii came out. Nothing until October. So, and then the DS actually was done last month. I didn't realize that last month was actually the last game for the DS. Crazy Train for DSi in January 2016 was the last DS game.
Boo hiss.
But the PSP was still technically kicking. We have one game this month, Breath of Fire 3 on PSN.
That's not nothing.
They've only got one game past this. One game past this. That comes out in July.
Okay.
So, like I said, the previous generation was hanging on.
Yeah.
Wow. The publisher and developer of Borders Beyond Borders is Xbox, as in ECHS space BACHS.
Bravo. Well done. Just well done. Man.
I love this so much.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's looks like it has one person in the credits. And sorry, the music was by Matthew McFarland, and created by Archer Wright. This is a masterpiece. I'm so glad I know about this now. Anyway,
I mean, there are times where I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever make a video game, right? I don't know how to code. I don't know how to program. I don't know if my ideas are any good. And then I see Borders Without Borders, and I go, I mean, I feel like I have to at some point. If that exists,
I feel
certainly
like
I could come up with something.
You have already done better as a game designer, but also worse, because that might be the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's Borders Beyond Borders.
It is. It's borderline amazing.
Borders, Bed, Bath, and Beyond Borders.
Cool. Borders Beyond Borders.
Anyway, on to the serious business. The PlayStation 4 coming at us with 52 new releases.
Jesus fucking Christ. In February? February.
The vast majority is DLC and PSN Garbo.
Still,
however,
there's 28 days in February. That's more than two games a day.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
There are very few things I want to do twice a day.
You don't need to elaborate on that. Listen to this list of games. Like the indie games came pretty fast and furious. We got Gravity Rush Remastered, Crypt of the Necrodancer, the original Unravel, Firewatch, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, and Runner 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's a gigantic month for, like, indie titles.
That's just for indies. Then on the regular, the AAA stuff, you've got Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Far Cry Primal, and the PlayStation exclusive Street Fighter V. Damn,
that's a big fucking month. That's a big February. That's a dick swing in February.
Yeah, that is a dick swing in February if I ever saw one, yes. Wow.
You know the problems I've been having with dick swing in February's.
Man, you got some serious ass dick swing in February's problems. Over on the Xbox One, with 31 releases, again, the vast majority being DLC and Xbox Live garbage. It's pretty much the same list. Actually, a lot fewer of them, like Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, Far Cry Primal, Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Unravel, but the Xbox One got its version of Rocket League.
Oh, still fun.
Was that the original release of Rocket League, I wonder?
I don't think so. I think it was PlayStation exclusive first. I think.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Because didn't we talked about it last year?
We did talk about this, yeah. So it was 2015. It was February 2015. No, July 2015 in the US. No. Yeah. Yes?
So like 6 months. Something like that.
I'm on Moby Games, and I highlighted it, and it says July 7th, 2015, U.S., February 21st, 2017, U.S. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, whatever.
Well,
yeah. Anyway, still
not
Rocket
all
League,
that
good
important.
stuff.
Regardless, still a fun game. All this time later, like if you jump into Rocket League right now, still fucking fun. It's
Still
just
have a good time.
It's just a satisfying, good idea.
Couldn't agree more. Soccer and cars. The Wii U had 14 releases. Only one seemed worthy of mentioning to me. That was Oddworld, New and Tasty. The Ouya had one release, Muzzle to Muzzle. Never heard of it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's clear PS4 is the winner as far as home consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're counting Borders Beyond Borders, but
well, I don't even think it's fair, honestly.
Yeah, it's not even
to count
a fair
Borders Beyond
comparison.
Borders. That's just not.
10
No, I mean that's just
too low.
That's huge. Like Street Fighter V, for all of the nonsense that came along with it being console exclusive, right? Which, like, Street Fighter should never be console exclusive.
Yeah,
it should
and
be
the way they rolled
crossplay
out
to
the
fucking everything.
characters, like they started with what, like 3 characters or some nonsense like that. It was, I don't know,
but still developed into a fine title.
Yeah, by the time they were done with it, Street Fighter V was really good. That just leaves the handhelds. The 3DS had 10 releases, a bunch of nonsense, but the ones worth mentioning were Mega Man Legacy Collection, which came with a solid, not actual gold, but a gold Mega Man amiibo for some reason.
Yeah.
And Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright, and Conquest, when they split it up into 2 different flavors, technically 3. I think there was an eShop exclusive third one.
Was there really?
Yeah. And they all told different stories, so that's something. Whereas the PS Vita had 16 releases, the only one that jumped out at me is worth mentioning was Crypt of the Necrodancer. Everything else was just Japan games, DLC, and PSN shovelware.
Shovelware. Yeah, I mean, Mega Man
PS4
Legacy
had a
Collection,
great month.
Pretty great. You know.
Yeah, and it's Fire Emblem and Mega Man. That's that's not terrible for a 3DS in February.
It's not terrible for us because of Mega Man, but for everybody else, like Fire Emblem is still pretty huge.
Yeah, Fire Emblem's a big deal for those that like it. So I don't think anything's touching PS4 this month, but that wasn't so bad.
Yeah. I feel like we are one of probably the few handful of podcasts that are like, Fire Emblem? Nope, not for us. Rockstar? Nope, not interested. Bethesda?
None for me, thanks.
Man, maybe that Indiana Jones game. Other than that, no thank you. Like, that is just a massive section of gaming that you and I are fucking flicking our dicks at. Like, nope, no thank you.
That's why we have tens of listeners, Dan.
That's right. Our fucking listeners are sexier than anybody else, though.
Yeah, we have the best listeners in the world.
We do. We honestly do. Not even sucking up to you people. I just genuinely believe that. You're the smart ones. You're the chosen ones. Who will eventually join Kris and I at our compound. It's a very long con, but we'll get there. Don't worry, boys.
It'll be worth it in the end.
It'll be worth it in your end.
Let's travel back 20 years. 20 years into the past to February 2006. The Gizmondo is discontinued after selling only 25,000 units. The company behind it, Tiger Telematics, files for bankruptcy, and the website screwattack.com is born. PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube are still the primary sources of gaming. The Xbox 360 has launched, obviously, a couple of months ago, but it's still not really firing on all cylinders, and the handheld space is being dominated by DS and PSP. So, PlayStation 2, in an unsurprising turn, has the most, 32 releases this month. Mm-hmm. Listen to this lineup. It's interesting. We got Final Fight Streetwise, MLB 06 The Show, FIFA Street 2, Black, Sonic Riders, Fight Night Round 3, Grandia 3, State of Emergency 2, Winning 11-9, and Tales of Legendia. Those were the big names that came out there. Yeah. So it's a lot, but it's really quantity over quality as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Fight Night Round 3 is a solid game. FIFA Street 2 is solid. Obviously, MLB The Show. But if you're not into sports, like Final Fight Streetwise was kind of shit.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I think some people liked Black. Sonic Riders was State of Emergency 2 was
Black was fine, but it was just it's a shooter. You know, there are very few. Shooter. There are very few games that come out that are like that kind of first-person shooter. Where it's like, no, legit, this thing's incredible.
Especially at this time, like they were really trying to make. There were a lot of those kinds of things coming out around then, and you know, Black was neat, but I don't remember it all that much.
I played the shit out of Fight Night Round 3. That game is, I mean, the Fight Night series was just such a breath of fresh air and so fucking fun and intuitive and just, are you wiping your glasses with a taco?
Oh yeah, I got this for Christmas. Yeah, it's a taco. Oh,
that's fun. It's a taco glasses wipe. That's exciting.
I also have a stress taco.
Oh, I have a stress taco too. She's upstairs on the couch.
And just for Evan, because I keep it on my desk, it's a spring chicken.
Oh, wow. That was...
Evan got this for John when he was like, I want to say 2. Yeah. And it is one of the toys that has just survived this house. It would turn up every year or two. It would turn up, and the kids would mess around with it for a minute, and I'd be like, Evan, look what I found. And now it lives on my desk because I love it. So.
It's pretty great.
Spring chicken.
Yeah. Sorry, audio only, guys. I apologize.
Yeah, apologies for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, over on the Xbox, similarly, we've got 14 releases. Nothing exclusive. Winning 11, Sonic Riders, Fight Night, Black, FIFA Street, Final Fight Streetwise. So honestly, it's PlayStation 2 head and shoulders. GameCube, however, had a pretty interesting month. It only had 5 releases. FIFA Street, Sonic Riders, and Curious George, which was also on the other platforms. But there were 2 very, very interesting games that dropped this month. Chibi Robo, which is so weird. I love that game. And Naruto Clash of Ninja, which is fucking great.
Is it?
It's so good. This is Aiding, I could be wrong. It's the company that did the Bloody Roar series. They did this whole series of Naruto games. Somebody that when I was working at Game Crazy in Union City, one of our guys had the Japanese import of the 4th one of these. It is a legitimately fantastic fighting game. We played the crap out of it. Clash of Ninja was the first one. They were like 2 years behind the Japanese ones, and they started the first one.
Okay.
It's still pretty good, but the 4th one was amazing. Interesting month.
I just never got into Naruto. And because I never got into Naruto, I just never paid any attention to the games, which I know you don't have to know. Like, obviously, you don't need to be into it. But
I had no idea it was an actual anime. I thought it was just a fighting game at first. Like that's because they just brought it into the store. I had never heard of it. And I liked all the weird ass characters and whatnot. Man, that was a good time. Those were good, good days.
Somebody I worked with at GameStop down in Mays Landing came in and he was like, "You like Dragon Ball, right?" And I was like, I mean, I feel like when somebody starts a conversation that way, like, I'm going to say yes, and you're going to expect me to be able to have a certain type of conversation with you that I cannot have with you. Yes, I do like Dragon Ball. No, I don't like it the way you like it. He was like, all right.
I appreciate Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I
like Dragon Ball. I adore Dragon Ball.
I have seen Dragon Ball Z. I have a Majin Buu and a Kid Buu figure. Same. Whatever. But we are very different in our love. But he was like, all right, well, if you fucking like that, you need to get on Naruto. And then for the next, like, dude, it was a kid that I worked with, and for like the next shift and a half, I just got the story of Naruto, and I was like, I mean, I was not interested when you started this story, and now I'm about to punch you in the neck because this is happening just fucking forever. And now I don't need to watch it now because I've heard everything.
Yeah, now you know what happens.
And he's got tails. Oh, fucking does he? Good. Okay, move on. Please, somebody buy something.
I watched a decent amount of Naruto. And eventually I just kind of gave up, but...
Yeah, anyway. I'm not... Anime is not for me. For the most part, it just isn't. I like what I like, and I like Berserk. And that's about it, you know?
I don't think anyone's going to fault you for that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Rounding out the home consoles, Xbox 360 had 3 releases, Fight Night Round 3, Full Auto, and Crystal Quest. So yeah, 360 not super strong out the gate.
Not great.
Hands down, PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
But just in sheer quantity, PlayStation 2. Although I gotta give GameCube its ups for. I mean, FIFA Street 2 is great.
FIFA
Sonic
Street 2
Riders
is super fun.
What it was, but Chibi Robo was super interesting.
Yeah, I've never messed around with the Chibi Robo stuff. I feel like I would love the shit out of it. It
the
feels
first one
like
is my favorite by far.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's so
maybe
weird.
one day.
Maybe one day. Over on the handhelds, the Game Boy Advance was still in it. Had 8 releases. Alien Hominid and Drill Dozer were the only ones worth mentioning. Everything else was shovelware.
But both so good.
I don't
Alien
think I've ever
Hominid
played
fucking rules.
GBA Alien Hominid.
What's that?
I don't think I've ever played the Game Boy Advance version of it.
How different could it be?
Well, I mean, it was Game Boy Advance, so it probably wasn't able to do the visuals the same way. I would think, but the hell do I know? Now I'm stuck watching ads because I'm watching it not on Brave. There we go. Let's skip the ads. Come on.
What is Brave?
It's a browser. Okay, so we've got the. Oh boy, that is. Oh, it's actually. So it's just like really, really pixelated. It looks almost. It
that's
looks
fine.
Pretty much the same, the Alien Hominid, but it's just crazy pixelated. Well, that's neat.
I would imagine it has a certain level of charm that way.
Yeah. Good job, guys. And Drill Dozer's great. Drill Dozer's such a weird game.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, that's a thing. Pretty sure that was Game Freak again.
It was. Yeah. They do really good stuff when it's not fucking
when they're not making
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah.
When they don't have to spend all of their time and energy coming up with some new variation on a cute fuck hamster that like shoots electricity out of its nips. Like, okay, we get it. How much?
This is the real showdown this month. So the DS had 8 games, the PSP had 10 games, but I found the same 5 for each one that was worth mentioning. Right, each one had 5. The DS had FIFA Street 2, Super Princess Peach, Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll, The Rub Rabbits, and Resident Evil Deadly Silence. Whereas the PSP had MLB The 6th The Show, Winning 11-9, Fight Night Round 3, Exit, and Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Nothing for the N-Gage.
So, I mean, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max is great.
It's phenomenal. It was the best version of Alpha 3 out there, except you had to play it on a damn PSP.
Yeah, which made it the worst version, in many people's estimation. But, like, Super Princess Peach is very cool, right? I've never played it.
It's solid. It's not amazing, but it's certainly not bad. It's nice looking. It's solid. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll was pretty good. The Rub Rabbits was super weird. That was the sequel to Field of Magic. That was the follow-up to Field of Magic, that DS launch game that was like really, really weird.
Yeah.
And then Resident Evil Deadly Silence was... that was the first DS Resident Evil game with the touchscreen controls. I want to say that was a remake of the first one.
I did love.
Interesting.
I loved that era of DS gaming where everything had to be a fucking DS subtitle.
Yeah,
like no matter whether or not it made sense.
This is the first Resident Evil game, like the original PlayStation Resident Evil on DS with the like top screens and map and touch controls, and it was pretty good. Yeah. You know, it's Resident Evil. It's a classic.
It's a good game.
But then, so Exit was a pretty fun game. I don't know how Fight Night 3 went on PSP, because PSP didn't have dual analog.
No.
I know. I mean,
but still,
the MLB The Show games were supposedly solid on PSP.
Yeah, they were very good on PSP.
11 is Winning 11.
Yeah,
I don't know who to give that one to. I really don't.
I mean, I would argue it's Nintendo because it's more creative.
Yeah, it's more varied.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't don't know. I keep saying obviously PS2 is the winner, but like, yeah, just numbers. I think PS2 still has it. But not a bad 20 there. That's not bad. Some interesting stuff. Some real Drill Dozer and Chibi Robo came out in the same month. So like Nintendo out here like trying stuff. Really swinging for the fences with weirdness. I like that.
And everybody else being like, here's a game with a ball in it. Enjoy.
You like sports?
You like sports, don't you? Even Fight Night. These guys have balls. It counts.
Anyway, let's travel back 30 years into the past to February 1996. Sega releases their Model 3 arcade board, Blizzard acquires the developer Condor and renames them Blizzard North, and Deep Blue beats Kasparov at chess.
Oh, shit. I remember when people gave a fuck about things like that. It's like,
I couldn't find any arcade releases. Civilization 2 came out on PC, though. That's pretty cool.
Is it?
Sure. I don't know. They're still making those games. People clearly care. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
This is a rough one. This is a weird, rough month. The Super NES had 0 releases. The Sega Genesis only had 2, but they were College Slam and Triple Play Gold Edition. The 32X had a single release, World Series Baseball starring Deion Sanders. Nothing for Neo Geo, but Real Bout Fatal Fury came out on Neo Geo CD. What do you got about Deion Sanders?
That's pretty dope. What uniform was Deion wearing?
That's a good question. Let's see. I have that game, but I don't have the box. At least I think I have that game.
Because, like, sorry, Cowboys fans, but, like, fuck Deion Sanders.
But why is he Deion? I thought he was a football player.
He was, but also played baseball for a little bit.
Oh.
I did not like having to cheer for him when he was on the Yankees.
I can't tell what uniform he's wearing. What were the options? Look like Yankees? There's no pinstripes.
Because I believe he was also on the Braves. I believe
that might be Braves.
Yeah, he definitely played for the Braves. Hold on, I just pulled it up. So Sanders played for the Yankees, the Braves, the Reds, and the Giants.
No.
He made one World Series appearance in '92. Deion Sanders is the only athlete to play in both a Super Bowl and a World Series because life was unfair to Bo Jackson. Anyway.
Yeah, I really can't tell what uniform this is. I bet you will.
Yeah, hold on.
Bet you'll know immediately.
I suppose I could have just looked up the game, but I instead looked up Deion Sanders as a person.
There, I put the box in the chat. What uniform is that?
Okay, hold on. Oh, where's the chat? I was looking at other things. That is the San Francisco Giants.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Now we know that. Anyway, shuffling right along. Like I said,
we're better now.
Nothing on Neo Geo. One Fatal Fury came out on Neo Geo CD. The Jaguar had one release, Defender 2000. Whereas the Jaguar CD also had 0. But this is what I thought was really interesting this month. I'll just throw out nothing on Game Boy, nothing on Game Gear. The penultimate Virtual Boy release, Nestor's Funky Bowling, was released.
What a weird 30 years ago. Like everybody just forgot. Felt like, oh, fuck, we didn't put anything in February. Shit. Sorry.
Yeah, just skipped right over it, except this little three-way conversation here. This is, I think, really interesting because this paints a weird picture that was only really around for a very brief period of time, where it was PlayStation, Saturn, and 3DO going back to back.
I love
honestly,
the
if
three-way.
you really wanted to, you could theoretically throw the Jaguar in here too, since Defender 2000 was like kind of their big exclusive.
You could, but anytime you bring in a fourth, that's when things it starts to get sloppy. It really does. It's hard to share equal time. It's difficult.
So the 3DO had 2 releases. Siberia, which released last month on PlayStation, and Johnny Bazooka Tone. Whereas the PlayStation had 3 releases: Assault Rigs, Alien Trilogy, and Johnny Bazooka Tone. And the Saturn had 2 releases: College Slam and Johnny Bazooka Tone. So I mean, one of these situations where you've got 3 different platforms that got the same game, and then their other stuff thrown in as well. And I don't think I think it's clear the PlayStation came out on top with Alien Trilogy. I think Assault Rigs was supposed to be kind of cool, too. I do not know
what Johnny Bazooka Tone is.
You don't
yes,
know
I do.
Johnny
Never mind.
Bazooka Tone? I was going to say, as soon as you see it, you will know exactly what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the type of graphics that, like, my kids' generation are trying to, like, pretend that they're nostalgic for, and I'm like, no, don't make things look like this.
Like, this was great for Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo, but once we got to the next generation, stop that.
Oof. It's the purple soul patch that he has at certain times in certain promotional images that are
and the big purple Elvis hair.
Yeah, boy,
it's a really it's a look. It's a very memorable game.
Boy,
I'm sure its legacy will.
Things like this, I see things like this and I go, am I misremembering the 90s? I think I might be. Because I think it was mostly that.
There's so much good stuff. This year, 96 is going to have some really good stuff, but...
I don't know. 96 is pretty close to fucking 2000, Chris. I think it was mostly that. I know, like, I was listening to, like, grunge and shit and, like, underground hip-hop, and, like, I thought that was pretty cool, but also Johnny Bazooka Tone. That was the thing.
So, I do think we have to say a little bit about Defender 2000. Defender 2000 was pretty cool. I don't think I really ever got the hang of it, but these games where they were doing the like Tempest 2000, Missile Command, I think there was a Missile Command 2000. Defender 2000 I've played a little bit of. I can't remember if this was one of the ones. I don't think this was on Atari 50, but
when you searched it up, did you get a bunch of pictures of a Land Rover, or does your algorithm know you better? Because I got a bunch of pictures of me
better.
I got a bunch of pictures of a Land Rover. I had to specify Jaguar. Yeah.
This is it's a Llamasoft joint. It's super weird, but it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neato little thing.
It's just the thing that strikes me so much about Jaguar games is that there is such a distinct soft look to the graphics in those games. Like I don't know if soft is the right word, or if you see what I'm saying when you look at it, but there's like, I don't know, there's just this weird softness to it that like was incredibly prevalent on the Jaguar and not really anywhere else at the time.
Well, it is a pretty unique looking game system. It is kind of like a half souped up Super Nintendo. Like, it's still not quite that, though, because there are some things that look better on Super Nintendo and Genesis than I'd say Super Nintendo than Jaguar, but Jaguar also was able to do more things. I don't know. Jaguar's so weird.
It really is. I really would love to see an interesting
title.
I would have loved to have seen like people, really talented people, squeeze every drop out of the Jaguar to really see like what it was capable of. You know,
if the Jag would have taken off, like that would have been an interesting world.
It really, because it's just such a unique, like you said, like the visuals that are present in Jaguar titles are so unique to the Jaguar. It's just wild.
Yeah, nothing else looks quite like it.
Yeah.
One of the last systems that really had its own very specific identity, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, PlayStation and Saturn had their unique identities, N64 did, but like that following generation, like PS2 and Xbox and GameCube, things started to feel a lot more standardized.
Yeah,
Jaguar
it really.
has
Everything just kind of looks like. They all look like video games now, which, I mean, there's an argument to be made for that, too,
Right,
but, yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, that's I don't even know what to call a winner.
I don't think I think January was still the winner in February.
This 1996 was not a hefty month, but that interesting three-way battle of 3DO, PlayStation, and Saturn. 3DO obviously lost hard, but it's an interesting time. Anyway, let's travel back to the 40. February 1986, Atari publisher Imagic files for bankruptcy at some point this year, maybe February, I don't know. Pixar breaks off from Lucasfilm as its own studio. The first anti-smoking ad aired on U.S. television, and Halley's Comet reached its closest approach to Earth. There were no new game releases this month.
Wow.
In North America, we got nothing in the arcade that I could find, nothing on PC worth noting. Atari 2600 isn't back until July of 86, and television's not here until May of 86. 5200's got nothing until September. Coleco's nothing till November. NES is dead till June. 7800 comes out in May. The Master System comes out in September, and there were no Game & Watches. So, wow. The 40's going to be nothing for a bit, but then it's going to happen. Later this year, May, June, September area, things are going to start getting spicy. The way everybody usually describes that 3-month period of May, June, September. Fuck July and August.
That most common of shorthand descriptions. May, June, September.
You never heard of a May, June, September romance? Come on. It's a common phrase. Everybody's saying
that old chestnut.
Hundo P, Dan. Oh boy. All right. That is it for the 10, 20, 30, 40 February 2026. It was an interesting one, to be sure. We got Johnny Bazooka-Tone, and we got Borders Beyond Borders. Let's be real here.
I mean, they look like they could be the same game. They really might be.
All right, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we're going to start diving into a whole lot of week-old news, because clearly the world had things to say this week. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
Fucking May, June, September. What? That's fucking diabolical. What's wrong with you? Oh, man.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore, because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least 2 of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
All right, everybody, we're back. I didn't even tell Dan I was going to do it. I just did.
No.
Boom.
You put it right in.
So we've got ourselves a metric ton of news to cover, so it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. We're going to start off with Nintendo Life reporting Nintendo is considering a Switch 2 price hike this year, according to new report. Quote, close rival Nintendo Co., which contributed to the surplus demand in 2025 after its new Switch 2 console drove storage card prices, is also contemplating raising the price of that device in 2026. People familiar with it its plans said. Sony and Nintendo representatives didn't respond to requests for comments. This is just a rumor at this point. This is insider info, which is, I think, whenever I see that, there's maybe like a 40% chance that it actually comes to fruition, especially when it comes to Nintendo.
Yeah.
But, with the world being the way that it is, it does seem plausible that if they're going to maintain profitability, that this is something that's going to happen. Or if they just decide, fuck it, we want more money. Because they seem to be sitting in that department a lot lately.
Yeah.
Which
and everybody else has certainly made that decision. And like we were talking earlier, like with the tariffs being shut down, and now President Trump saying, well, I'll just institute a 10% global tariff or whatever the fuck he's talking about. Like, even taking all of that aside, all the AI data centers sucking up all the RAM is what's going to increase the prices. Like, regardless of tariffs, that you cannot get a Steam Deck right now because they can't make them. Right? Their Steam Decks are fucking sold out everywhere. That was in the news.
AI, Dan, it's the best. AI is so cool. You can make Goku fight Snow White. It's awesome.
Right. It's great. And I saw all those ads at the Super Bowl trying to convince me how fucking awesome AI was.
You don't have to create anything anymore. We don't need artists. We can have slop smeared all over our eyeballs.
Oh, it's great, you know how I like it.
I do.
It is also just one of those things where we've been hearing about a price increase for the Switch 2. There's enough smoke that there's going to be fire at some point.
I think a lot of people are just assuming that, but it's already pretty goddamn expensive. So
I hope you're right. I really, really do hope you're right. I feel like I don't know.
I feel like theoretical price increases were built into its current price, and if things go up, it's going to continue to be stuff like controllers and games. I feel like they're going to keep the system where it's at. But what do I know?
I hope so. In super shitty news, Push Square reports that Sony makes the shocking decision, and it is legitimately shocking, to shut down Blue Point Games. So Blue Point Games was acquired by PlayStation in 2021. They put out the Shadow of the Colossus PS4 remake, the Demon Souls PS5 remake, and they were developing a live service God of War title that absolutely nobody fucking wanted. And the live service God of War title was shut down. That is gone. And now Blue Point Studios is gone. And it just seems fucking shocking. Legitimately. About 70 people are losing their jobs, which is awful. But this was a super talented team that did really fucking good work. And hopefully they'll stick together as a team and start a new company and move and do something. There's certainly opportunities. They are that talented. But it's a very weird decision for Sony to shut down a studio that did great work for them for seemingly no reason.
Somebody somewhere got a paycheck for it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I saw something about them trying to justify it. I don't know. I have so little faith that it's anything other than, certain parts of our profits weren't looking great. This could fix that, so we're going to do it.
Yeah. It is quite shitty, and you can tell how well this is going over because the Sony team has basically gone radio silent on social media since the announcement.
They're getting absolutely dragged.
As well they should. As well they should. Like, shut down studios that, I mean, again, I don't ever want anybody to lose their job, but if you're making a shit product, you don't get to keep your job, right? That's just not how the world works. That's fine.
Right.
But if you're doing good work and you were making a stupid-ass live service game that nobody wanted and you lose your job because you were doing the thing your bosses told you to, that's fucked up. That's why we need unions. Like, that right there is the reason. That right there
is when the executives that made you do that, the dumb thing, that's when they should have to pay the price.
Exactly.
But that's not how this industry works.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, GameSpot reports Trump's tariffs, which impacted gaming, ruled illegal by Supreme Court. The now majority conservative court decided 6-3 that the president exceeded the power he has. We're not going to get all political here, but needless to say, I'm genuinely shocked.
Yes,
that this happened. It seemed pretty obvious to most of Earth that this was not quite legal, but that also doesn't really seem to be the world that we live in, where things that are legal apply to the U.S. government. Again, I'm not trying to get all political here. This is just a thing that happened. There have been a lot of negative impacts of the tariffs in the game industry, in the retro game industry. People found it more difficult to import and export things and get parts for things. So we'll see if this actually has an impact and things start to be a little bit more affordable, maybe, in some respects. I don't know. It was certainly something worth mentioning.
It certainly is. I'm just glad that we got our tariff refund check before they were declared illegal.
Same.
IGN reports that the Saudi-owned RTS takes over full ownership of EVO. So a tournament that started off as just a Street Fighter tournament, right? Has now been purchased by the Saudi-owned RTS. It's reported by Shack News. Nodwin Gaming will remain involved in EVO to assist with marketing, and some members of leadership will remain in place. However, RTS, the talent management and brand consulting company originally founded by streamer Pokimane, will take full control. We are proud of our legacy with EVO that started 5 years ago, said RTS CEO Stuart Saw in a statement. We're going to continue investing in the things that matter to our community, elevating and empowering members of the FGC fighting game community, and working diligently with our game developer partners to ensure that EVO benefits all parties involved. Because every time there is a giant corporate takeover of a beloved institution, it goes fucking well. This has nothing to do with who was taking it over. It has everything to do with the fact that this was an organic, fan-driven passion project that just isn't anymore. And that sucks.
Yep. I don't like that at all. For numerous reasons.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't super thrilled when Sony bought EVO, basically, in 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sucked. Nintendo pulled Smash Brothers from EVO after Sony bought it, but it still seemed pretty okay. Like, it seemed largely untouched. And, I mean, we'll see. Maybe this will go well. Maybe this will be one of the rare times where, like under Sony's stewardship, you don't really notice a lot of changes. I'm not that naive, but I am that hopeful. We'll see.
Well, moving right along, IGN reports Phil Spencer retiring, Sarah Bond out, Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec Asha Sharma named new Xbox boss. That's a hell of a headline.
A hell of a headline.
So Phil Spencer...
I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, the AI exec being named new Xbox boss certainly doesn't give me a lot of hope for the future of the Xbox brand.
It does, like that. That's the part that gives me the most pause, right? It is the AI exec taking over the Xbox job. I don't personally think Phil Spencer has done a bang-up job. I don't.
Certainly not of late. The Xbox got off to a very good start.
It did.
As the newcomer in the industry. The Xbox 360 was a phenomenal success, even though it eventually lost to PS3. There were some issues that got in the way, but the Xbox 360 is a fantastic game platform. When we start getting to Xbox 360's prime during the 10, 20, 30, 40, those are going to be like PS2 months, you know?
Yeah.
There were so many games. It was so good. But then they followed it up with the Xbox One, which was dumb. Right from a name perspective, on through, they made some pretty dumb decisions. So that even when Sony didn't knock it out of the park, it didn't matter because Microsoft was, tripping over their own dicks. And now we have the Xbox Series, which is, again, it exists. It's out there. It's certainly not like, it's not a Virtual Boy or anything like that, but it's not living up to any kind of potential. And the way that they look at the industry has changed it so much, all in the pursuit of... It's not in pursuit of advancing the medium, it's in pursuit of how much money we can get from our customers. And obviously corporations are always going to have that second goal, but things work when both goals are considered. And think of the best PlayStation has ever been. Every time that they're at their best, it's when they're considering both things.
Yes.
Right? It's like, well, how can we make a lot of money, but also how can we advance games? And it's the same thing with Nintendo. Like, when they're doing both trying to be profitable and trying to advance the industry, that's when things are great. Sony and Nintendo have that down when they want to. And then they go nuts for some reason, and they make the mistakes that they make all over the place. They're all very public, but Microsoft's whole thing just seems to have been going downhill faster and faster. And none of this... Phil Spencer, I don't think he's been doing a bang-up job, as you said.
What concerns me, right? I don't know this new lady in charge, Asha Sharma. I have nothing personal. It's not that sort of concern that I have. Her past jobs include being the former VP of Product and Engineering at Meta, who is a disgusting fucking company. Yes, we use their products because that is the state of the world, but Meta sucks on toast. I don't think that's like a bold statement to say, especially considering the things that Zuckerberg has been in the news for this week, the accusations and whatnot. Meta is problematic. She's the former Instacart COO. There are plenty of things to dislike about Instacart if you dig deep enough. She's a board member of Home Depot, which, that's fine, I suppose. Of the
three, for sure.
Of the three, that's the one. But
let's say questionable monetary donations.
Yeah. What I didn't like about her opening statement, an email that was shared out that she sent to Microsoft. She said, "My first job is simple: understand what makes this work and protect it." She joined Microsoft in 2024. She is not invested in this as a gamer, and you don't obviously have to be invested in this as a gamer and whatnot. But when you lead off your introduction with, I don't know what the fuck this is all about, but I'm going to figure it out. Really, to me, everything you say after that kind of comes off as disingenuous. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, for as much as I don't think Phil was doing a great job these last couple of years, he obviously had a passion for this, right? Mm-hmm. This did actually mean something to him. So we'll see. But she says, first thing we got to do is make great games. Second thing, the return of Xbox. We have to recommit to our core Xbox fans and players. Yes, you absolutely fucking do. There are a lot of diehard Xbox kids that need to be shown some love. But then the last statement, again, third, the future of play. We are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. So, like, that just tells me, as the former head of AI, like, that you just told me where we're going. And I don't think a ton of people are going to be interested in it. And that sucks.
Yeah, I really do wonder at this point why they aren't just making games. Well, I don't understand their obsession with trying to be involved in the platform side of things. It just doesn't seem to make any sense for their business anymore.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she does go on to say, as monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans, created with the most innovative technology provided by us. Man, I hope so. I do.
I don't believe you.
I mean, we have said multiple times on this show, you and I both want a reason to want an Xbox. I want you to sell me something that I need to have. Because it's better for everybody if there are 3 strong platforms. It just is. But I just don't see it.
I think things were going pretty well there in the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era as far as
they really were
creativity and stuff.
Yeah. Massive news. Big, huge, smelly story.
Moving right along. Gizmodo reports Nintendo's adorable wooden amiibo will hook kids on Mario even earlier. Nintendo's got this, like, early youth stuff, like toys and their cartoon type things that they're doing on YouTube. And they've got a bunch of cute little wooden figures that work as amiibo, apparently, coming out.
They're adorable.
They look cute. Yeah, they look adorable. I like them.
They look great. And I don't want them, but absolutely. But Kris, you skipped over.
I did?
The biggest story. Nintendo Life reports that you, sir, should forget the talking flower. Because this is the cutest...
didn't skip it because it wasn't my turn. I read the Xbox one, and then I just took your turn.
And then you just went.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. The cutest upcoming Mario toy is coming out. So, if you remember a few years ago, Hatchimals, all the rage. Couldn't find a fucking Hatchimal anywhere. Mm-hmm. And somebody at the toy company, at whoever the fuck is making this. Who's making this? I guess it's Jazzwares, because they have the... or no, this is it is from Spin Master, who made Hatchimals. They were like, okay, Hatchimals, but Yoshi in the fucking egg. And yep. Done.
Yep. It's very cute. It talks to you. It hatches.
Yep.
It's a whole ass thing. Its eyes glow for some reason. I don't know how I feel about that part, but yeah. No, this is precious, and it looks sell like hotcakes.
And what's wild? It's $50.
Yeah.
That, I mean, in a world
that's
where
a lot
everything
for a toy, but also that this toy does as much as it does. I mean, how much is the damn talking flower?
Yeah, not $50. Isn't it 100? Or like 120 or some shit?
I don't think it's that much, but maybe I'm crazy. Talking flower is $34.99.
Oh God, I was way off. Oh wait, no, they raised the price of Alarmo. Is that what the fuck was the $120 thing we were talking about?
Well, Alarmo's always been spicy.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Wasn't there
Alarmo
something
was
else?
100. Now it's 109.
Okay.
Still want one. I really want one. Want one.
I don't know. This thing being $50, I think the only thing that bums me out about it, and I understand why you wouldn't do it, but like the cool thing, quote unquote, cool thing that my kids liked about the Hatchimals anyway, is that like it was kind of a surprise as to who you were going to get. Like, we know who they were going to get, but they didn't know who they were going to get. You know what I mean? To them, it was a surprise. This is just, as far as it appears to be, so far anyway, just green Yoshi. And there are plenty of other colors of Yoshi they could have done. It could have been like a mystery. I suppose a bunch of people would have been pissed off if they didn't get green Yoshi.
If it was a green egg and a different colored Yoshi came out of it, that wouldn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
So, Dan, I have this weird thing in my life. My lucky numbers are my lucky number is 923.
Okay.
Lots of things happen.
I know that. Yeah.
So I bring up, I mean, I'm just going to send you the link and you're going to see what happens. There in the SAG chat, I was looking up Alarmo. Just because I wanted to see it. There it is.
There it is.
The time displayed
9:23 a.m.
on the Alarmo is 9:23. It's fate. I need to have one, Dan. I need an Alarmo. I just can't justify $110 for a freaking alarm clock I'm never going to use.
No.
It'll sit on my desk without question.
Sure.
Like, I'm not putting it in my bedroom. I will like leave it here on my desk and look at it while I work.
That's a waste of $110 though.
Yeah, but is it though? Is it really?
Yes,
but no.
Yeah, 1,000%. It is without question. It is like the very definition of a waste of money.
I don't need a clock on my desk that does these things, but I do.
You have a phone in your pocket that currently does all of those things plus more.
I have a watch.
Yeah,
but this is an Alarmo.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. It is, in fact, in a red circle. That's the big difference.
It is. My watch isn't in a red circle.
I mean, it could. I will fucking whittle you a red circle for $5. You know, not even 110. I will knock $105 off of that price.
All right, next story. Your turn again.
Twisted Voxel, which is a new group of friends for us here at the Stone Age Gamer Podcast, they report that the next gen Xbox codename Magnus specs have allegedly been finalized, and it is apparently on track for a 2027 release. Now, this is some rumors and scuttlebutt, but what I thought was interesting and why I put this story in here is because there have been a lot of stories over the last couple of weeks that Sony is pushing back PS6. Like, no, we're not even close to ready. This news hit about the new Microsoft people, and then they're like, yep, and the new launch window is 2027. So for those of you who are wondering what the rumors are, we're going to reportedly get a console powered by AMD's upcoming RDNA 5 architecture. The GPU chipset in there will be the same chip that makes the 9070 XT graphics card. And that's really about all that's in there that they have speculated on. That would be a monstrously powerful system, right? And it has to be. If they are going to launch a system anytime in the next, 4 years, I would argue, it is going to be so expensive that it has to be that thing that we've talked about a bunch on this show over the years of, 8-bit to 16-bit, massive jump. 16 to 32, massive jump. 32 to 64, meh. It was a jump, but I don't know that we loved that jump. PlayStation to PlayStation 2, holy fucking shit.
That was massive.
PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, meh. Yeah, it was definitely better.
Yeah, it was noticeable.
It was noticeable, but it became less of like a
3 to
massive
4
thing.
to 5.
4 to 5? Okay. Like, we're still getting PS4 games released. Fucking system's been out for 6 years. You know what I mean? So, I think in order to justify the massive price that these systems are going to demand, we might actually be in line to see a gigantic leap forward. And I think that's exciting, ultimately.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I see how we get a huge leap, but
I don't either.
Hey, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Push Square reports, here's why Sean Layden thinks Sony can't get away with making PS6 digital only. Really, it all comes down to there's a bunch of markets that, there's places all over the place that don't have high-speed internet. Or, what was it says? A wholly digital console wouldn't be viable in rural locations where high-speed internet isn't an option, athletes traveling with their PS5s to play in hotel rooms, and military bases in locations with no online access. Yeah.
So here's what
they want to go fully digital.
Of course.
Because, you don't have to pay for making physical products, but more importantly, you have all the control over them. Like, people can't just own their games anymore, and that means that you can resell them their games infinitely.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question that's what the real reason is, but
100%. Yeah. They can argue convenience and speed and all of those things. That has very, very little to do with it. What I thought was interesting about this article is in all the times that we have talked about this particular topic of physical versus digital, both on the show, in the Discord, round the campfire, all the times that this has been brought up, nobody that I know in our conversations has ever brought up this point.
It's true. It never occurred to me.
Never even thought about it. Right? Never even thought about, like, do you... Wait a tick. Do you mean to tell me there are other places in the world that might not have access to the highest speed internet to download 250 gigabyte games? Oh, I say thee nay. That certainly can't. Like, it's just, I never even fucking thought about it.
Same here. It just doesn't occur to me. It's not the world that I live in.
Yeah. And it's a compelling argument.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
Those places exist.
Yeah. Anyway, thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Agreed.
This one, man, I don't know how I feel about the way this thing looks. Time Extension reports that the controller you've all been asking for, Evercade, gets a wireless pad finally. I
don't know that this is the controller we've been asking for.
Yeah. So, coming out this year on September 28th, the Evercade wireless controller works with both the VS and VSR and Alpha systems, boasts rapid fire analog sticks, connects via a dongle, which don't we all. The dongle can be stored magnetically. It is a choice. It's a weird hybrid of, like, the bottom of a Super Nintendo-ish controller with the top of the original brick
Yeah,
Nintendo.
it's a rectangle. It's look, it might be comfortable.
It does not look like a very comfortable controller to use.
Agreed. Now that said, Evercade's great, so I'm sure they know what they're doing.
I'm not, but this is indeed a controller. Man, yeah, this is weird.
It is a choice.
It is a choice.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
What's this? You posted this one. We've got limited.
Yeah,
game
these made me
news.
happy. Reports
Ball Pit, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. It's getting physical copies. Neat.
Yeah.
Really not much.
This
the other day.
Really not much to talk about. but Ball Pit is coming to PS5 and Switch with the first DLC included. And for those of us that care about these things, I thought it was neat to point out that one, as well as to point out also from Limited Game News that Castlevania Belmont's Curse will be coming physically for PlayStation 5, Switch, and Series X. That is going to be $40 to $42, it looks like. I thought it was interesting that this was listed as Switch and not Switch 2.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I mean, Dead Cells runs phenomenally on Switch, so
right.
I didn't see anything in the trailer that seemed beyond the Switch's capabilities to pull off just as well as the other platforms. So I guess as long as it's programmed well, it doesn't need to be a Switch 2 release. So
yeah, which is fine. But for those of us that care about the physicality of things, those two games will be available physically.
What won't be available physically, Go Nintendo reports, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green seeing Switch eShop release February 27th, 2026, physical edition announced for Japan. So there is a physical edition, but not here in North America. So I have Nintendo Switch Online, and I was under the impression that when they release old games like this, that was part of my subscription. But alas, Pokemon is a different animal entirely. Because Pokemon, they can continue to sell on top of your subscription.
Yes.
So, most people have an NSO subscription, and they would be very happy to have Fire Red and Leaf Green or various other Pokemon games in their collection. But in this particular instance, they're going to sell them at $20 a piece. And that, on one hand, is cool because, you know, people want the option to buy these old games again digitally instead of just having them on the infinite rental service that is Nintendo Switch Online. But also they were very clear in an FAQ that this is not an indication of things to come, that they're not going to start magically selling these games, probably because they want you to have the subscription. So this is $20.
$20 is nuts. It's fucking nuts.
Considering that the subscription is what that gets you, that gets you all the Game Boy Advance games is the expansion pack. I think is what you need, and that's $50 for a year. Yeah, this is $20 for a game, so $50 will get you a year of a bunch of GBA games, but this $20 will get you this one GBA game permanently. But
it's a 40 megabit game,
and it's not. I think it doesn't. I was looking at all the limitations on it. Like, people aren't sure if it's going to work with Pokemon Home, so they can't complete the Pokedex. It doesn't have online play, so like, you know, all the connectivity stuff isn't really there. It's not a thorough thing. It's just like, well, here's the ROMs, and we're going to charge $20 for them because it's Pokemon, and you're going to pay it.
And this is why I said all of you fucking people were insane when you were spending $7.99 on Super Mario Brothers on the fucking Virtual Console, or whatever the fuck it was, or $4.99 or whatever. It doesn't matter. You're fucking insane to spend that much money on that game. It was insane. It was an offensive price for the size of that game and the amount.
Dan's size doesn't matter, sir.
How dare you? You know,
size
I am a
does
size
not
queen.
Matter.
It does.
No,
whoever has told you that is lying.
Honest to goodness, size does not matter, and I'll tell you exactly why.
You're right.
Because
it doesn't.
I just spent $15 on that Jaws game, and I absolutely got my money's worth. For $15 for a souped-up NES game. But I got my money's worth.
But there was
if
fucking
you think I didn't
more
get $5 worth of joy out of Super Mario Brothers on Wii Virtual Console, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, sure, but you would have gotten that same amount of joy out of fucking plugging in your Nintendo. Because guess where you're still playing it now? After you spent that $5 on a Virtual Console, you're still plugging in your fucking Nintendo and playing it on your CRT. Because I know you do it every year.
I do it. Yes, I do that every year, and I already have that one. But I also play it on my Switch if I'm going to play Super Mario Brothers because it's part of my subscription. But during the time before the subscription thing came out, I played it on the Wii. I booted up the Virtual Console version on the Wii repeatedly. And then I got it on Wii U, and it was terrible because Wii U's NES emulation was garbage. So I'd go back and continue to play it on the Wii whenever I wanted to play it. On my couch, nice and relaxed, wirelessly. Because I don't have any wireless.
My point stands, it should have been 99 cents, not fucking $5. And because all you maniacs spent that money, now they're going to charge this amount of money for this shit. And because all you fucking maniacs are going to spend this is going to sell incredibly well. The physical versions in Japan are going to sell out because you Pokemaniacs are assholes. And I love you because of your ridiculous fandom for it. But, like, this is why this shit happens.
If you want the Game Boy Advance game of Pokemon Fire Red, it's loose for $139.57. $20 is a steal.
That is such a fucking slippery slope argument. You're not wrong.
I mean, it's like this stupid Virtual Boy thing. This is all completely insane, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying the real thing. So, yeah, it's not a great price to begin with. I don't love it, but they're also friggin' full-ass RPGs. So, it's hard, right? Because we're talking about, like, the Final Fantasy collection pricing again. You know, like, that's an insane deal when you think about all the games that are in there. But, like, also, it's such a huge pile of... What was it, like $90, $80 or something for the whole collection? It's like, all right, Final Fantasy 1, that's pretty nothing. But these are Game Boy Advance games. So, like, is $20 too much to spend for a Game Boy Advance game? Like, I don't care about the file size. Like,
I know.
It's a solid game. Is $20 too much to pay for Metroid Fusion? I don't think it is. I mean...
But that's brand new shit. Like, it's... I get the argument you're making with Jaws.
This is a remake of... Right, this is a remake of the original Game Boy games, but it's a pretty thorough remake.
But it was already remade. This is just a re-release of the fucking remake. There's nothing work. $10.
I'm doing the comparison to like the Metroid Fusion thing, right? Metroid Fusion's a Game Boy Advance game. Aria of Sorrow is a Game Boy Advance game. Like, are you saying like those games aren't worth $20 on their own? Like. Now, granted, the Aria of Sorrow is in a collection that is not that much money. So, it's I'm of two minds. I think it's a little bit crazy dropping these at this price, but mostly because Nintendo Switch Online exists. But if they had it on NSO and had these for the option for sale, like, I don't know.
That's the move.
If the game right now is completely inaccessible on its own, like playing it on original hardware, even getting the original one is so freaking expensive. $20 is a hell of a lot better than $140, and you get the modern accoutrements. Although I don't know how much you get. Like, I don't know how these things are going to run. Are they going to have everything Nintendo Switch Online has, like save states and rewind? And Pokemon is its own thing with all the interconnectivity with Pokemon Home and the trading and the... I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I can jump on Amazon right now and I can get the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection for $60. Right. So you average out $10 a game for that? Yeah, that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway. You're all maniacs. IGN reports that Konami quietly removes the original versions of Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker from sale after the collection Volume 2 announcement. They revealed this last week at the State of Play. This collection will be coming out on August 27th of this year, 2026. After the announcement, however, some players noticed that the two games included in the collection had been pulled from the PlayStation and Xbox stores. It is weird that they would just pull them again, like we talked about a couple weeks ago when this was done. If you're going to pull your games, that is your right as a publisher. Just let somebody know.
Well, I think in this case it's a little bit different because this is like okay, we've got a new version of this coming out. Like, this is going to be, like, we're pulling these specific things, but you already know that they're coming back.
Right.
So, like, these are the old versions. These new ones are optimized. So, here you go. Now, that's me giving Konami the benefit of the doubt. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with these releases? What are they actually going to be like? Are they going to be as good as the original ones? Who's to say? But at least this one I can understand the logic of. It's not like...
But still, just let somebody
these games are gone forever. Like, yeah, you'd be like, all right, look, these are going to go down in 2 weeks. You know, we've got the collection coming out, but if you really want these flavors, they're going to go down in 2 weeks. Yeah, give people a heads up. At least I understand their logic behind it. They're like, no, if we're going to sell these games, we want people to be buying this new version.
Sure.
So if you want to be really greedy, why not just keep them up on the store and be like, get sales on these as close as possible, and then people would be like, oh, crap, I didn't know there was a new one. Now I got to buy that too. So, I don't know. It makes no sense from a greed perspective either, I guess. I don't know. I'm talking myself in circles.
It's just weird. Again, just a heads up. It's an easy... This is a PR strike, right? Like, now you look like a company who just pulls games back without telling anybody. And ultimately, like, everything you said is right. These are older versions of this. They're not going to be as good as what's on the PlayStation or on the Master Collection. All of that's fine. Avoid the PR hit by not announcing that you're removing shit from the store, because now it looks like you can just pull games away from the store. It's just a weird decision to make.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but it's Konami, and they're not very good at this anymore.
They certainly haven't been.
Well, here's something that I really do like. This is super cool. Go Nintendo reports previously unseen footage from Virtual Boy's 1995 reveal surfaces. This is so wonderful. Because there's so much interesting stuff in the Virtual Boy's history that is not, like, front and center. And this is really nice, high-quality stuff. Lots of Virtual Boy stuff that never came to be, little tech demos and stuff. Including the Mario thing. The Mario Land VB. There's that demo footage. The reel of it running. It's the same one that we've seen.
Super cool,
but it's a different.
It looked super cool,
a different
man.
Angle of it running. I so desperately would love to know what this game really would have been, because there's that bit where Mario goes down the pipe and then he's in a top-down Zelda-looking segment.
Yeah,
and then he falls into a hole, and then that's the end of the demo. Like, I want to know what this game was going to be so bad. And I probably never will, because this is just a tech demo. Like, this wasn't playable. This is just a demo reel that's running. But it looks so interesting. I love Mario Land, because Mario Land games are always so freaking weird. But yeah, this has a bunch of really cool stuff in it. Like, really high quality footage of the original Virtual Boy debut. Thank you, Video Game History Foundation, for getting this stuff up and available online. I love seeing this stuff. Yeah. Anytime these kinds of old footage shows up, because a lot of this footage exists, but it's in much lower quality. Now we can see it in much higher quality. That's great. I love these guys.
You know what else is great, Chris?
What's that, Dan?
That Time Extension reports the Super Nintendo is getting a Castlevania Symphony of the Night Port 2. A couple years ago, it was Symphony of the Night was unofficially ported to the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive.
Starting to get ported to. I don't think it's done yet.
Oh, no, I thought it was. Yeah.
Did Symphony get finished on Genesis? I don't know.
I thought it did. Anyway, maybe not.
There was a new demo as of August 2025.
Oh, there's demo. No, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that's been completed yet.
Regardless, there is a port of Symphony of the Night heading eventually then to the Genesis or Mega Drive. And Cafeware or cafe, yeah, I'm going to guess it's cafeware, is at a very early stage of developing an port for the Super Nintendo. And when the video footage that is here on Time Extension, you can go to timeextension.com to see this footage. It looks really fucking good. Looks really good on the Super Nintendo.
It looks surprisingly good on the Genesis too. Like, I don't know if I don't know what it would take to actually pull off the full game on these platforms, but like, you know, they're off to a good start on the Super Nintendo flavored one.
Yeah, I think this
what I'm hearing, because like when you watch the video, you just hear what sounds like the PlayStation music. Like, I'm curious what the final music in the game is going to sound like, or if that's what's actually coming out of a Super Nintendo. You know, it's missing, you know, collision. It's missing all kinds of sounds.
Sure.
Like, this is very, very early on, but that opening hallway is there. It looks good.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder about, you know, we've covered a few stories over the last couple of months of like decomps and recomps and whatnot, and what that would look like, right? Like, can you make a native Super Nintendo port of Symphony of the Night, but only release it on PC as if it were a native PC port of the SNES version, so that you wouldn't have to have like the limitations of file size and what I don't know if any of that makes any sense, because that's just a world I don't exist in. But I just wonder if like that's the thought process behind it. Either way, this kind of nonsense is just awesome, and please keep it coming.
Agreed. Let's see here. Where was I? Bob, our good friend Bob at Retro RGB. He reports Castlevania Sega Master System demo. Developer Xfixium just released a playable demo of their Castlevania port to the Sega Master System. This is so cool. I just love that this exists. I think it looks and sounds wild.
It really
so
does.
Much more animation. Like, this is such a Master System thing right here. This is a Master System game.
Yeah.
There's no
it
sound
looks fucking great,
which is kind of weirding me out. That in the video that they posted on here, there's no sound effects in this demo, but I don't know if the real version of the game has it or not. But the fact that of course the Master System could have run Castlevania. Of course it could have. The Master System was very capable of that kind of stuff. And you gotta wonder, like, what would this generation have actually looked like if third parties worked on Master System games in conjunction with NES ports? Like,
right.
How far could the Master System have gone, as capable as it was, against the Nintendo, if it weren't for, if the game libraries were more shared? It's a really, really fascinating thing to think about. It
really is. I love the Master System. I absolutely love the Master System. There's so many great games, and you're absolutely right. Like, that lack of parity between the libraries just really it ultimately killed it. I mean, I think ultimately there's an argument to be made that is ultimately what killed Sega as a console publisher. Like, at least here in the States, right? Because I feel like, and I don't know that this is accurate, but I feel like it's true, Nintendo was just kind of always ahead of Sega here. Even with, like, I know Sonic was popular, but...
Oh, the Genesis overtook Super Nintendo for a while there. Like, there was a period of time where the Genesis actually knocked the Super Nintendo out of the top spot, but then Donkey Kong Country happened.
But it never got to...
reversed it.
What I mean is, it never got to the point where our parents started calling them Sega games. You were always just playing Nintendo, no matter what you were playing. Right.
Yeah, generally speaking. I think there was a little bit of that in the States. There was a little bit of, like, playing Sega in the States, but not quite as much as, you know, playing Nintendo during the 8-bit era. Genesis was admittedly huge, but that was the closest they ever got.
Yeah.
You know, the Genesis happened, It launched with Altered Beast, and it was like still not going anywhere. And it wasn't until Sega of America they got involved in the whole Sonic the Hedgehog thing, and really that's what launched the Genesis into the stratosphere here in North America, and they overtook Super Nintendo. And then Nintendo was just like, all right, fine, here's a Donkey Kong Country, and brought it all back. And then they actually
that was the end of that
generation. Then 32X, Saturn, Dreamcast, and again, it was the game library. Like the 32X, it was always just so crazy library.
Sega.
The Saturn was just behind PlayStation. You know, third parties wanted to work on PlayStation more than they wanted to work on Saturn. The Saturn system was a strange architecture, and the PlayStation was really enticing. And again, Sega's platform was really meant to run Sega games, which don't have the same mass market appeal. And the same thing happened with the Dreamcast. You had some great stuff. You had Capcom, you know, doing their business on there,
doing
but
some incredible work.
The other third parties, like Electronic Arts, like they weren't interested in the Dreamcast. They were all going to PlayStation 2, and it was games. It's the game library that killed them.
Yeah.
They were ultimately too niche, which is a bummer because Sega's cool, but.
It is.
If you don't mind, I want to take this next one because
I was just going to tell you to take this one because I tried to open it and I don't have a Kickstarter login anymore.
Right.
So it wouldn't let me look at it.
So this is Bit Trip Rerunner is theoretically coming to Switch 2 if it can reach its goal. Bit Trip Rerunner is this really wild reinvention of the original Bit Trip Runner with runner maker levels, a whole create a level thing, create your own music. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. They're only asking for $50K. They've got 26 days to go, and they're only at $12,000, which I think is freaking tragic because Bit Trip's amazing, and the whole point of this, they got Charles Martinet to do a voiceover again for the trailer on Kickstarter. The point is that they want to bring Rerunner home to Nintendo, because Nintendo is where the whole Bit Trip thing happened. Nintendo Wii was what launched the Bit Trip, and they wanted to put Rerunner on Switch, but Switch wasn't capable of running it the way that they wanted it to. So Switch 2 fixes that. So now they want to put it on Switch 2. They need some crowdfunding to get it off the ground, and here we are. I really hope this comes to life. I backed it. If you've ever enjoyed the Bit Trip games, obviously you can just buy them on Steam if that's your druthers. But I think this would be great to have on Switch 2. I would very much love to have it on Switch 2. So I hope that it gets funded. I'll be very sad if it doesn't. I know Runner 3 didn't perform the way that they wanted it to, which again makes me sad because the game was great. I don't know what happened. I hope Breakout Beyond did really, really well for them, because that game was incredible. I love the games that these guys make, and I'm not sure why they're not catching on the way that they used to. I think Rerunner looks incredible. I've never tried it because I don't have a PC to play it on, but boy, if this comes out on Switch, I'll be a happy camper. It's 146 people. This seems so low for Bit Trip Rerunner on Switch 2. They've only gotten 146 backers so far. It just seems so small.
It does.
146 people? That's it for Bit Trip? It's Bit Trip. Come on. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. This next story has been reported by fucking everyone over the last couple of days. Chrono Trigger, the remake or remaster, is happening. It is happening to the point where the person who has leaked this information, John Harker, he did so over on the Reset Era forums. He has been right in a ton of stuff that he's leaked before. He is so confident in this leak. What I thought was funny about his comments in the Reset Era forums was that this is already so along in development that you should now be asking Square to revive other franchises. Like, this one's happening, don't worry about it. Start bugging them about other shit. This is such a no-brainer for this to actually be happening. I would honestly expect us to get some sort of announcement. I have no information whatsoever because I'm just a schmuck in New Jersey. but I am going to guess that at Summer Games Fest, this is my bold prediction, at Summer Games Fest is when we get the first concrete information of the Chrono Trigger remake.
I don't know, man. This is one of those I'll believe it when I see it things, because we've been talking about Chrono Trigger getting a remake for so long. I feel like if it was real, we would have heard about it by now. But this is the year of its anniversary, I believe, so maybe this is the year.
That's why I'm saying Summer Games Fest seems like a good time to do it. Now, what would you prefer, Kris? Just out of curiosity, if you had your druthers, you were in charge, right? Would you prefer this to be a full remake like what they've done with Final Fantasy VII? Not necessarily splitting it up into multiple games and whatnot, but that level of remake. Or would you prefer to see this in the 2.5D art style
I don't like
that
HD2D.
they are doing now?
I don't
HD2D.
like HD2D. I think that's what it's going to be, and I'm going to be really upset about it. Because Square loves it. They think it's the coolest thing in the world. I thought that was a neat trick once. I think Chrono Trigger deserves a full-on remake. I don't want them to do what they're doing with Final Fantasy VII, because I don't want them to retell the story. Like, I want them to do with this what I wanted them to do with Final Fantasy VII, which is just make that game, but prettier. Yeah. I just plugged in my phone because my phone's being my camera, but it's running out of batteries. I didn't really think about the battery drain, and I didn't have it plugged in this whole time. So I have it plugged in now, but I don't know if it's actually charging because I can't see the front of my camera because my phone, because the camera's facing me. So I'll check on the next break. But
I want the team that made Fighter Z or Fighters.
I've said that so many times. Dream thing, I have said this repeatedly. My dream thing, that I want Chrono Trigger running on the Fighter Z engine. That's what I want. I want I want Chrono Trigger that looks like that. I've been saying that ever since Fighter Z came out. That is what I want.
It's fucking perfect. It's what should happen.
It looks glorious, and that's what I would love to see, Chrono Trigger that looks like that, because don't try to make it look all detailed like Final Fantasy VII. That's not this, like, make this look like the hottest Toriyama artwork that's ever been there. Like, that's what this game deserves. IGN reports Ubisoft insists MIA Splinter Cell remake still in development despite fresh layoffs.
Would it be a week-old news without us shitting a little bit on Ubisoft?
There's... whatever. Whatever. Because the follow-up here is like, this is actually kind of cool.
Solid Snake, or GameSpot reports that Solid Snake is coming to Rainbow Six Siege. And so
is Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. Yeah.
So we're going to get a game with both of them in it, and it's unfortunately going to be Rainbow Six. And I say unfortunately not to disparage people who like Rainbow Six. I'm just not going to play it. Reading Rainbow Six is... It was
just neat seeing those two characters shake hands. Like, that was pretty cool, but I'm good.
It's cool. But fuck you, Ubisoft. Just fuck you.
In non-fuck you news, Nintendo Life reports Sonic the Hedgehog 4 movie has found its Amy Rose. It's Veronica Mars. Kristen Bell is going to voice Amy Rose. That's perfect. That is pure perfection. She is exactly the right voice. Love it.
100,000% perfect. It is not my favorite thing. I thought we were going to end with my favorite thing. But this story was actually my favorite story of the week, because say what you will about Double Dragon Gaiden, their DLC...
I'll say lots about it. I love that game.
Their DLC, I know, it's... there are things to be said about that game. Or at least according to comments and shit about people, or whatever. None of this fucking matters.
There's a lot of people that didn't like it. I had so much fun with this game. I loved it. And this fucking DLC pack is we're gonna find the barrel of double dragon characters and just scrape the shit out of it. And I love them for it.
Because this is a free DLC adding 4 characters. You are getting Armored Okada, Jackson,
nobody
Jim
cares
Mackey.
about Armored Okada. This is what we're talking about.
No one cares about any of these 3 because you're also getting Bimmy Lee. And that's fucking outstanding.
So, let's see if I got this right. Jackson, I believe, was the first level boss in Double Dragon 3.
Okay.
So again, like, okay, that sure is a character that they pulled right out there. I was like, man, Jackson, why do I know that guy? So let's see. Jackson Double Dragon was oh no, I'm backwards. So Jackson is the second boss of Super Double Dragon for Super Nintendo. It's the other guy, which I just learned about this one when I looked this up earlier. Jim Mackey is the younger brother of Machine Gun Willie and the first boss in Double Dragon 3.
Bimmy Lee, Chris.
Then you've got Bimmy Lee, which is hysterical. Because I believe the way this game is passing off Bimmy Lee is as a fused version of Billy and Jimmy Lee.
Yeah, so on the Noisy Pixel website, it says, legends speak of a secret within the Sosutken, a form that can only be mastered by 2. The tale has been passed down for so long that few believe it, dismissing it as myth or joke. But could this be the proof? It's fucking so dumb. It's so dumb. I love it. It looks awesome. Bimmy fucking Lee. Yes.
Because, what was it? Double Dragon Neon did Bimmy and Jammy, even though Jammy I don't think is a real one. Because, if you don't know, anyone listening, in Double Dragon 3 for NES, they misspelled Billy Lee's name and called him Bimmy in one of the freaking cutscenes. It's hysterical, and grab a Double Dragon 3 for NES cart, Bimmy. Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy Lee. Bimmy and Jimmy.
Yeah, this game was fun. I had a blast with this game.
And it's awesome that they're still supporting it with fucking free DLC.
Yeah. Oh, Profound Sadness reports, Push Square reports, Roblox is being played more than PlayStation and Steam combined.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, my kid loves playing Roblox with her friends. And if she wasn't playing it with friends, I wouldn't let her play it at all. But she plays it with her. She's being social, so she's just playing with her friends and talking with her friends and cooperating with her friends. Okay, cool. She's not playing with strangers. She's just playing with her friends. Fine. And then she'll be like, hey, let's play Roblox before bed tonight. And so I'll get on my phone and I'll play some shitty Roblox game and I will want to claw my fucking eyes out because it's all terrible.
Yeah, I don't get it. I kind of get Minecraft a little bit, and I see why that.
Yeah, I can understand Minecraft. This one, I have not played a single thing on Roblox that wasn't like, okay, but this is just like this other thing, but really shitty.
Yeah.
I don't understand the draw of this. I don't get it. Every single game that Ellie makes me play is like, this is like pulling teeth. I'd rather play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for NES than this. This is just torture.
It's not what you want.
No, her friends love it. They're the bad concept of what video games are.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple of bad ones here.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of not what you want, Hideki Sato, the father of Sega hardware, passes away age 75. 75's not fucking old enough, man.
Yeah.
Not old enough. He joined Sega in 1971, worked on the design of all Sega consoles, including the Saturn and Dreamcast. This guy was a big deal in video game history and Sega history. Big fucking deal. And 75, not old enough, man. Not old enough.
And right on the heels of that, we have Time Extension reporting his talent was unparalleled. Castlevania and Bloodstained veteran Shutaro Ida has lost his battle with cancer. Sorry for the... I apologize for the mispronunciation. It worked alongside Koji Igarashi on Castlevania Bloodstained series of games. Passed away on February 10th at the age of 52. He had been battling cancer since 2024. That is just another tragic loss. That's way too young. That just sucks.
Way too young. And again, I don't think we're coming out of left field here when we say the official stance from the Stone Age Gamer podcast, fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. All day, every day, and twice on Sundays.
Every single day. Yep. Wrapping up, getting close to the end here. This is such a weird fucking story. So you guys can't see this, but we have our news section broken down into categories, right? And the last category is usually the one that gets the least amount of news, is our strange and unusual. This one absolutely should be in the strange and unusual category. Go Nintendo reports that this accessory lets you use two Joy-Cons with one hand. It's a katane grip, not karate.
And look,
as I misread when I first looked at
accessibility, but it's still friggin' weird. Like, because
it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's
Joy-Cons
just super
were really
fucking
not
weird.
Designed for this.
Yeah, like this is not. This is definitely designed with accessibility in mind. I don't know that this makes gaming more accessible for one-handed gamers. I don't know that it doesn't. It's just such a... I feel like there's maybe a better way to do this. Especially because in the trailer, they show people eating chips and scrolling through their phones while they are using this fucking grip. Not an actual differently abled gamer using it. Regardless, this is fucking super weird.
It is an odd thing. But speaking of weird, Polygon reports Stardew Valley fan sleeps for 1,000 in-game years, nearly breaks Switch doing it. Quote, Stardew Valley was not programmed to handle a player who never wakes up. So someone decided to find out what happens if you never woke up for 1,000 in-game years. Says to do it, the player says that they began a save file on Switch where the only thing the protagonist was allowed to do was sleep. The tenacious player kept at this for weeks, undeterred by how laggy the game became in the process. Not only did their Switch crash 9 times in their pursuit of a Rip Van Winkle status, the controller itself got mangled in the process. I used a controller with a turbo button to hit A repeatedly and a hair tie to walk right automatically, the player described. That also gave my controller horrible stick drift. The land was overtaken by tall red mushrooms that prevented the player from taking more than a couple of steps at a time. The world had been blasted by so many meteor showers during their doze that the land was now full of purple space rocks. It took the player 3 entire seasons to cut down the overgrowth. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add. That's just...
No, I don't have anything to add to that. It's just absurd. It's just absurd.
The internet remains undefeated. Keep going.
Push Square reports that noted maniac David Jaffe tears apart the total crap God of War Sons of Sparta. So David Jaffe is
a bit of a character.
He's an interesting cat, man, and he is the former lead of Santa Monica's studios. He is responsible largely for the first God of War. And he made a video where he just loses his shit and goes on like a 10-minute tirade against the game, saying it's insulting to the fans, it's insulting to people who worked on the games. What were they thinking? Why is this in existence? I don't understand. And then here's just the beautiful part of this, and why we just exist in just the dumbest fucking timeline. Directly quoted from Mr. Jaffe. I only played about an hour, and I'll never go back to it. Like, just get over yourselves, man. They just kept stopping over and over again and having their characters just talk and talk, and the voice acting is not very good. Who the fuck wants to play this? So I have commented last week. I said I don't think the voice acting in this is great. However, using howlongtobeat.com as a resource, a completionist run of God of War Sons of Sparta will take you about 36 and a half hours to get through, and a main story run will take you about 20 hours to get through. Dude played an hour.
I don't know how many. Seem like quite enough.
I don't know how many video games you've played lately, Kris, but a lot of modern games do a lot of setup in the beginning, and then other stuff happens. We've had conversations on this very show about how much of a game do you need to play in order to be qualified to review it, right? And there's an argument to be made that you need to play a game to completion. There's arguments to be made that you don't need to play a game to completion in order to be able to give the game an accurate review and all of those things. I will say I think we can all agree that if a game is 20 hours long, you need to spend more than an hour with it. I think that's fair to then not just go on the internet and fucking go crazy about it.
Well, remember when Metroid Dread came out and he couldn't figure out that the game was teaching him how to go somewhere. It's like, well, how am I supposed to know? You're supposed to shoot the ceiling because there's an enemy on the other side of it, literally telling you that. My God! Like, the game language could not have been more obvious, but he couldn't figure it out, and it was like, this is shitty game design. Like, really? Dread's shitty game design? Okay, pal. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, David Jaffe's nuts, but
yeah,
not as nuts. Not as nuts. Retro RGB reports, homebrew dev recreates Minecraft on Sega Saturn. Frogbull has made... Frogbull has told Shiro that he had to wrap his head around the original game's structure to figure out how to make Minecraft work on a Saturn. No, you didn't. You didn't have to do that.
You did not.
None of this was necessary.
You, in fact, did not have to do any of those things.
I'm thrilled that you did. This is so wild that you made this work, but, oh man. Minecraft, here it is running on Saturn. It looks like Minecraft on Saturn, but there it is.
It does, yeah.
Phenomenal.
If you have experience with either of those things, it looks like what you think it looks like, but it also just looks like Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft intrinsically looks like garbage to begin with, so
yeah,
it all kind of works out.
That was a long one.
All right, yeah,
we should towel off.
Yeah, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. That's it for Week Old News. We'll take a break. When we come back, check in with the checkpoint, talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast. All right, everybody.
All right.
We're back. We've returned. We just went through all that crazy week-old news, so now it's time to check in with the Checkpoint.
Checkpoint!
This is where Dan and I talk about what we've been up to, and fuck it, I'll go first this time.
All right.
Over the weekend, after we recorded last week, I went to the arcade with my family. Me, Karen,
You said
and
you were
kids
going
went
to.
Said we were going to, and boy, was I happy we did, because we had an absolute blast.
That's awesome.
This place has my favorite pinball machines. My local arcade has my favorite pinball machines. Twilight Zone and Taxi are both there. They've been there this whole time.
What more could you ask for?
I played them both a bunch, but what made me so happy was that John was playing pinball. Like, he really got into it.
That's awesome.
To the point where, like, you know, because we went there and he started off with like, well, hey, look, it's Tempest. I know Tempest because he's seen me play it on the Atari 50. And I was like, well, try it. What have you got to lose? And I was like, I don't know. Everything's set to free play. Like, we're paid by the hour. Just go for it. You have nothing to lose. So he played it for like a minute or two. He did okay. And then he was like, okay, that was neat. And so he started moving on to other things. But then, like, when it came to pinball, he started off on like a Godzilla one. And then he played Twilight Zone because I was playing it for a little while. And then he was just like, I'm going to try this one. And he kept trying different pinball machines. And John choosing to try something new is awesome. It's not something he does as much as I wish that he would. And it seems to have had a little bit of an ongoing effect too, because I downloaded a game called Dredge that looked really cool. I downloaded the demo and I was like, you should try this out, John. And then he did, and he loved it. And then I bought the whole game for him because it's currently on sale for $10. So he tried something else new. Man, him playing the pinball games, him and Ellie playing House of the Dead 3 together. Nice. Ellie also playing pinball games. She was working with me with Twilight Zone and Taxi. She was trying to do the thing where she launched the ball and then I'd play the game. She had a blast with that. We all played some air hockey. Nice. Karen played Area 51, which she's ridiculously good at. So that's boy, oh boy. It was an fucking day, man. It was such a good day.
It's one of those things. See, I don't know. One of the things you're missing on the video podcast, for those of you that are just audio, is that one of the cool things that happens to me is I still get like these weird muscle cramps, and every now and again when we're recording, I make faces when they happen because fuck, do they hurt. And usually I would just suffer in silence when you would be talking and it would happen, and I would just be back here like, fuck, making all types of shit. Yeah. No, it's like, again, Siri, shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. Not right now. We're not alone. The loss of the arcade is so much more than just the loss of like arcade style games and whatnot. It's the loss of that connection and that really fucking there's video games are inherently tactile, right? Like there's a physical component to them. But there's such a different physicality with arcade machines, with pinball machines, with light gun shooters. There's just... The arcade experience brought home has never fucking happened. It's never happened. Even with the arcade 1-up consoles and the one that I built for you and all of that shit. Like it's just not the same. An arcade
is a different thing. It's a public place with tons of machines and you're just there doing your thing. And it got real busy in there too. When we got there was nobody there. By the time we left, there was a bunch of people walking around. It was great.
That's outstanding.
It was so much fun.
That's outstanding. It's like, it's one of the few, weirdly, like, philosophically about it, it's one of the most like intimate, vulnerable experiences you can have in public. And not intimate in like a sexy way, obviously. Like intimate in the true sense of the word, and it's a very vulnerable place. And there was a lot of boundary. There was a lot of borders beyond borders happening in fucking arcades, man. Like it was a very, very special place, and it still can be a very, very special place. And I don't lament them. Like I said, for the lack of just the games, there was so much more that went into it. And it's awesome to see that some of these places still exist. I know, like, there's one at the Berlin Farmers Mart in New Jersey, and I'll go in there every now and again, and the kids and I will play pinball, you know, because they have that same Godzilla machine. Or there's the Round One place over at the Deptford Mall, which is mostly like Japanese rhythm games imported. But even that shit is fucking awesome. I mean, you want to talk about a vulnerable, intimate sharing experience. You are up there looking like a fucking maniac when you're dancing around and doing all the different shit you got to do in those games. But you're the coolest fucking person in the room when you're doing it right. Like it's just such a wild experience. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was great. Funny enough, we played Cruisin'. We played Cruisin' World. Ellie and I played Cruisin' World. And every single time we went through the checkpoint, it was the sound effect we use here on the podcast for the checkpoint. For when they say checkpoint, is the same sound. I was like, it's the podcast. It's so
fun.
You know, they have a Killer Instinct 1 and 2 machine there. I played a tiny bit of Mortal Kombat 2. I played Donkey Kong. I played Donkey Kong Jr. Played Tempest. What else did I play? Their Space Invaders machine wasn't really working very well. Sean was like, "You could play Zaxxon," like a joke, and I was like, "Nah, Zaxxon is actually pretty good. I'm just terrible at it. I'm not very good at it."
Yeah.
What else did we? It was really just a lot of pinball. John really liked Medieval Madness, I think is what it's called. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Karen loves Theater of Magic. That's always been one of hers. He really liked Medieval Madness. He liked the Lord of the Rings one, was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Do they have Tales from the Crypt?
No.
That is by far my favorite pinball game. I fucking adore that game so much. I love it. I want it. How much is it? I'm going to see if I can't buy myself one, Chris.
The arcade and pinball was outstanding. And then I made some really good pizza. That was really, really good. Let's see. I got a really cool email so on Saturday, I got an email from Kazdan Azan. I apologize for reading this name wrong. There's no way I pronounced that right. Right, but he said, I recently saw a YouTube video that you posted regarding your Atari VCS 800 unit. I noticed you had a particular preference when buying certain games on your VCS, and that many of the games that we publish at KRAZ Productions were not under your purchase library. As a fan of both your business and your YouTube channel, I wanted to gift you a few free game codes for your Atari VCS that expire in April. So I downloaded... I thanked him profusely. I was like, that is so very nice of you. That's awesome. Because I was looking at a couple of these, including the first one that I downloaded, but I still haven't tried it yet because I tried other ones first, was Yeet Fighter, which looks like it's like so all these are basically 2600 games that they put up on VCS. So they don't look like modern games. They look like 2600 games. I got Yeet Fighter, Vector Odyssey, Up++, Conjoined, and Cyber Run. I've only had a chance to play 2 so far. I played them earlier today. I played Cyber Run and Up++. I'm not 100% sure I understood Up++, but if I did... So what it is like, there's a game of Arkanoid happening, right? Because I would say Breakout, but it's totally Arkanoid, because the thing shoots as well, like... But you're not controlling that. You're controlling a spaceship. And what you need to do is you need to dodge the ball that's being played in during the game of Arkanoid, you know, the ball that's bouncing and breaking the bricks. And as the bricks are getting broken, there's an exit at the top of the screen. And you need to fly your spaceship through that exit while dodging a game of Breakout, basically. It's a very neat concept, and I really enjoyed it. That
sounds awesome.
Yeah, that was a really cool idea. There was something about it that, like, the second or third stage, there was this other thing showed up, and then the ceiling closed off, and I didn't know what to do. I have to read the instructions a little bit more thoroughly, but, you know, because as you do with a lot of Atari games, they're so abstract. But it was a really cool idea. And then the other one I played was Cyber Run. So Cyber Run... I played it I played it at first and I was like, yeah, okay, I guess this is fine. And then like I played it for a few more minutes and then I couldn't put it the hell down. Cause it's, it looks kind of like, I want to say it looks kind of like the parts in Solaris where you're like, it's the screen scrolling towards you and like enemies will show up, but you have a cursor on the screen instead of like a ship. And like you need to shoot, you move the cursor back and forth to shoot all these different enemies that show up. But then it turns into like a static target shooter game, right? So these two little blocks show up and then these different enemies start coming up with different patterns and you're moving the cursor around trying to shoot them. And then it switches into a different mode where you turn into a hand and you're trying to grab these little like bits of code that come at you. And it starts off so slow that I was like, all right, this is kind of boring. But then after a minute or so, it ratchets up in difficulty and it's pretty dang fun. So that's awesome. That
is awesome.
I really enjoyed it. So I still have to try Conjoined, which I don't know if that one's really my style. Vector Odyssey looks cool, and I can't wait to try Yeet Fighter, which is like if you put Street Fighter on Atari 2600 and it doesn't look terrible. It's unbelievable. I remember seeing this one not that long ago, and I was like, I should try that out. It's only a couple of bucks. Next time I get on my VCS, I might give this one a shot, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. Now I don't have to. So thank you. This was really, really cool. KRAZ Productions. Speaking of the VCS, a new VCS game came out today that's an older game, but it was like promised to come out on VCS years ago, but it finally came out today. It was, I feel like you're probably familiar with it. Now I got to remember the name of it. It's got something to do with samurai. No, not that.
Katana?
Don't create a post. No. What are the groups that I'm in? Yes, leave page. Spirit of the Samurai. The game looks like it's stop motion animation. It came out, I want to say, 2 years ago. And it's on VCS now, and it looks really cool. It seems to have kind of mixed reviews, like it's 3 out of 5 on Steam. But it's got a really interesting look to it. I don't know that I'm going to buy it because, again, I'm not entirely sure this is my style of game. It does appear to be 2D, but visually speaking, it's really interesting looking because it's supposed to evoke stuff like what's the Ray Harryhausen kind of stuff.
Harryhausen, Clash of the Titans, Jason and the
Argonauts.
Argonauts.
Clash of the Titans, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has that kind of vibe. See, I think what's weird about it is that it definitely has that kind of vibe. Penn and I were just talking about this with a band earlier today. It's too clean though. Like it's got that style of stop motion, but you can tell that it's digitally altered stop motion and not actual stop motion.
Right.
Right. Like, it's not actual frame by frame. There's an inherent jank in like stop motion animation.
Yeah.
That this doesn't have. Like, Penn and I were talking about, there's this band called Smush, and like the sound was really cool, but they were going for a very specific kind of like grungy, dirty sound, but it was all being done with digital instrumentation. So it was like, I see what you're going for. It just still sounds too fucking clean. It sounds like a cleaned up version.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This does look cool though. Like, depending on the price, like, I mean, because this is the kind of shit that I'm super. You get to control a cat at some point. Like, this is speaking to me on many levels.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Steam, so at some point you'll be able to get it for $1. So
yeah,
I say add it to your wish list, and then let me know how it is, because I was going to
say let's see how much it is right now.
I think it's currently $20 on Steam, but I might be wrong.
Oh, the samurai. Yeah, so it is $20 on Steam. There is a demo.
Oh, well then you should try the demo and let me know how it is.
So I think I will check out the demo for this game and let you know, because this is definitely not a drop $20 on it.
But it's interesting enough to consider it for free. Speaking of demos, though, I played through the Darwin's Paradox demo, which I didn't realize came out on Switch as well.
Was it? Because I did not get to that this week.
I love the look. I love the character. I love that there's a whole chunk of this that is just Metal Gear to the T, including like a friggin' Metal Gear Metal Gear Rex is in it. It's got a great sense of humor. It controls really well. My only gripe is that it's very, very difficult. There is zero leeway. You get spotted, you are dead. And there's a lot of like, it feels like the game kind of encourages you to move quickly, but things will just kind of show up off screen immediately and kill you. So like, you've got to kind of inch around more than I felt natural doing. But I'm interested. The demo was very enjoyable. It's got a great personality. So I think that's close to being enough for me. I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. Try the demo. I recommend it. Especially you're such a Metal Gear fan, you have to try this demo.
I planned on it. This week everybody's been sick but me.
Right.
So I just didn't get to it.
Make it happen this weekend if you can. It's not a very long demo. It's so Metal Gear, and like right down to the sound effects and everything. It's hysterical.
That's awesome.
It's a new Konami game, so I like to see it. I guess Konami trying to make a comeback to be a big boy. That makes me happy.
I do have good news, Chris.
Cool.
I found a Tales from the Crypt pinball machine for sale. With shipping. Let me see. With shipping, it will be $6,098. Plus tax. So the delivery fee is $600. So I mean, at that point, I might just get two and send you one.
Right.
It's so cheap.
So cheap, especially the shipping.
Yeah. I wonder how much more they would charge. Like, can you come pick it up in the van? Like, I'll just have them both shipped here. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be like it's both of ours. We'll just keep it at my house. Yeah.
The only other thing I got to talk about, and this was a big portion of my week, was Virtual Boy. This was all right. So
this was it.
Nintendo Switch Online Virtual Boy. This happened this week. I got the stuff in the mail, and I had to get right on top of it because I needed to make a video as quickly as possible because I wanted to be one of the first videos out there. Because that's what Stone Age Gamer bought this stuff for me for.
Right.
I get to keep the cardboard one, but the full-on Virtual Boy we're giving away. So you can go to stoneagegamer.com/enter to win, and it's free. You can enter to win the one that I used for making the video, which is it is neat. It is
the one that you
insane.
ripped the plastic off of.
Yes, I tore it off my teeth.
Denying people the joy.
Look, buddy. This is my right. This is my right. So and the videos performed pretty well, I must say. Let's see. It's currently sitting at 30,000 views on Facebook Reels, and like I don't know, something on YouTube. Let's see, where are we at on YouTube? YouTube Shorts. It is at another 2,104, which is pretty solid for us. You know, my YouTube Shorts usually do around 1,000 to 1,500, and you know, so breaking 2,000 is pretty good. Although the one I did about Super Metroid last week is doing way better. That one's sitting at 23,000 on YouTube, and where did we hit on Facebook? Because this was doing it's 100, broke 100,000. So yay on
It's
that.
not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But yeah, so I got the thing, and I got to work right away on, you know, building it and then comparing it to an original Virtual Boy. So they really did make you have to play it with the accessories. There is no good way to play it without the accessories. The closest you can get is there are these tiny screens that'll show up, like 2 screens that'll show up on the screen only in handheld mode. It is blocked. You put it into the dock, it says no. You try to zoom in, it says no. Like everything they can do, you have to play this with the peripherals in order to even be able to see what you're doing. Which really sucks because there's no reason for it. There's no reason these games can't be played in 2D. There's been a bunch of people in comments trying to tell me, like, no, this is the original intent of the artists, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You have the option to play them in their original format, but if you don't have the ability to properly see these things in 3D, or you can't afford the cardboard accessory, or you don't want to either hold the thing up to your face like this for 30, 40 minutes at a time to play a game, or hunch over to stick your face into a Virtual Boy. The problem with the Virtual Boy wasn't the games, it was the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
And they've recreated the Virtual Boy experience, including how much it sucks to play a Virtual Boy. I don't understand why they did this. I understand that it's a neat thing. No, go ahead.
Can you disconnect the Joy-Cons? This is maybe a weird question. Can you disconnect the Joy-Cons and play it? Or do they have to stay?
No. So when it's in the plastic one, you have to disconnect the Joy-Cons because it won't fit in there with the Joy-Cons on it. The cardboard one,
I did not watch your entire video. Okay.
Yeah. So the cardboard one is just like Labo. You have to hold it up. What I wound up doing the other night was I laid down on my couch, I balanced it on my face, and then I held the Joy-Con separately and played it that way, which was not very comfortable, but it was more comfortable than holding it up to my face the whole damn time.
And there's no strap on that?
Nope.
That's fucking stupid.
They Old School has made one where the next time we order from one of our distributors that we get Old School products from, we're going to get a couple of those and I'm going to try it out. It's just, even when you're in there, it's not. So on one hand, you have save states, you have rewind. That's great. But the actual picture quality on Switch 2 is not as good as playing on original Virtual Boy. You can see the pixels. I mean, it is and it isn't, because like the Virtual Boy was designed very specifically to be able to be seen this specific way, whereas this is, you're looking at a Switch screen way closer than it was designed to be looked at. So it does not look bad by any stretch of the imagination for Virtual Boy. It all looks bad. It's red and black and you can barely see the corners. Like, that's just the way the Virtual Boy is. But the pixels are way more pronounced, and like you can see the space between the pixels because you're staring at the screen so close. Whereas in the original one, it's pretty seamless. Also, and it's my understanding that this isn't the case with that might not be the case with the Switch OLED, or the regular Switch. and a Switch 2, there is a little bit of motion blur when you're moving around in it. Again, it's nothing game breaking or anything like that, but it is, as somebody who has played a lot of Virtual Boy, it's very noticeable, especially when I played the two of them side by side.
Right.
Because I set up one and I set up the other, and I just looked back and forth and played Wario Land. It was like, the red is a little bit deeper on the original Virtual Boy as opposed to the new one. It's a little bit brighter. I think playing it on the original hardware is still the way to do it, outside of the fact that you have save states and rewind, which is very cool on the Switch. And also, a Switch 2 does a lot more than a Virtual Boy, and Virtual Boys are insanely expensive. All the games are insanely expensive, and being able to play them on your Switch 2 is certainly better than nothing. But I do not understand why they went this route instead of the route of making the controller and just letting people play these games on their TV. I will never understand why that's not the route that they went. Other than maybe they have a ton of these Labo VR goggles sitting around somewhere and they're trying to burn through them. I don't know. But not being able to play these on TV
just be some shit?
Is so sense. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
If they so overestimated Labo that they were like, fuck, we got to do a Virtual Boy thing now. We go look at the fucking warehouse. Look at how many of these we have. What else can we do
with these lenses? There's got to be something. Fuck it, Virtual Boy.
I hope that's actually what happened. That's the kind of stupid I can get behind. If they came out and they were like, look, this is why we did it, I would buy the fucking cardboard one. I respect the honesty.
I respect the honesty. Of the two, I think the cardboard one works better. I was able to see it better because I guess you just have a little bit more control over what you're holding. But
yeah,
I just want to play it on my TV. I just want to sit and play these games on my TV. And I know I can do that through nefarious means right now. I have that ability, but I want to do it on my Switch too. I want to do it upstairs in the living room with my wireless controller and just play these games in a way that lets me actually see them. Because for me, always with Virtual Boy, I've never been able to see the whole playfield at a time. You got your face in there, and I have to look to see what's going on in the corners. During certain menus, I always have to look around. It's just a different experience, and that's not... I've done that. I have the Virtual Boy. I have had it since it came out. What I want now is, because we're all these years later, give me the modern option to just sit back and enjoy these games from a distance. And I don't understand why they didn't do it, other than this is their way of selling these accessories. Because if they give people the option to just play them in 2D, they would probably sell a lot fewer of the accessories. So my hope is that around the time when they do this color update, where you'll be able to switch the color of the games, it is my hope that when that happens, that's when we're going to get the ability to play on TV, because they will have theoretically sold through, come on, brain. Yeah, they will have sold through all the accessories. Sorry, one of my AirPods just died. I was on 50% 20 minutes ago, and now it's at 1. So I'm gonna plug in my headphones. So please hold. But yeah, that was my week.
Yeah,
Virtual Boy.
I wonder. I just put a thing in our chat. I wonder what it would be like with one of these upgraded VR kits that Amazon sells. So there's the Nintendo Labo 3D experience, whatever the fuck, and now there's this Virtual Boy thing. But there are aftermarket third-party VR headsets compatible with Switch and Switch 2. I wonder what the experience would be like on one of those.
Probably better.
How much more comfortable would it be? Would it, would that be the better way to do it? I just out of curiosity, because I'm looking at these things on Amazon, $35, $40. Certainly cheaper than that fucking
the $100 thing.
It's insanity.
It's certainly interesting. Let's see, what do we got here? This one is $18.99. Devasso upgraded VR headset for Switch OLED. Doesn't say anything about Switch 2.
Yeah. I just wonder, might that be the way?
$18.99. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe that's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Because I've played it for the last 2 nights. I've been like, I really want to play through Virtual Boy Wario Land again, and I don't feel like going downstairs and plugging in my wired Xbox controller because I never figured out how to get my my Raspberry Pi working properly, which is where I have this stuff shmemulated.
Right.
Or I just want to play 3D Tetris, but I want to play it on the TV because I think
I just want to play
3D
the damn
Tetris.
Game.
Yeah,
why
I just
won't you
sit
let me
back and play the game with a controller on a TV? And there's no reason not to. I get that the games are designed to work in 3D, but we're not talking. Like, I kept getting this argument from various people being like, "That's just not good. They shouldn't let you do it. That's not what they were designed for." First off, fuck all the way off. Accessibility. These are the same people who are like, no, there shouldn't be an easy mode. No, fuck off. Not everybody can do what you do. So let people play games the way they want to play games. But also, this is an option. You have the option to play you can fully experience these games in 3D, pretty damn close to the original Virtual Boy if that's what you want to do. But also, these games aren't built around that. I made this one argument to this guy who was trying to make that argument. These games are unplayable without the 3D. And I'm like, fucking bullshit. They're literally very playable without the 3D. Yeah. I've done it before. And this is the same company that made Metroid Prime, that insisted that Metroid Prime could no, we're not doing dual analog. We have a controller with 2 analog sticks, but no, we are going to do this in this very unique method of control because we want this to be different, and we're not going to give you the option of playing dual analog. No option. Metroid Other M, Donkey Kong Country Returns on Wii, the classic controller existed. It was a thing that they sold, and they said, nope, we are not going to make these games compatible with these. These games absolutely have to be played with a Wii Remote held sideways, which is insane. Donkey Kong Country Returns suffered from it because there weren't enough buttons on a Wii Remote held sideways, so they needed to assign certain movements to gestures, which is not a reliable way to play a game. And Metroid Other M, you're moving a character around in 3D space with a fucking D-pad. Which is not what you want. You want an analog stick for that. And you had a controller. You had the nunchuck that came with the system. We could have done Wii Remote nunchuck, but no, absolutely not. We will not let you do that. We want this to be played with a Wii Remote held sideways. That's the whole story. And we're also talking about the same company that had a 3DS and didn't release Virtual Boy games on that, which is arguably the best way to play these games. I'm dumbfounded.
Nintendo, man.
I'm dumbfounded that they won't let you play this on TV. Like, look at Metroid Prime Remastered. All of a sudden, that game is playable with dual analog controls, and it's so much better than it was on GameCube. And it was a masterpiece on GameCube. Yeah. But I'll never go back. I tried playing the GameCube version.
Because it sucks playing it that way.
It's just a weird way of controlling these things. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So $18.99 for this bullshit headset thing. Like, it's only got 3.4 out of 5 stars. I don't know, man. I want to try it. I really want to give it a try, but not enough to spend money on it, Like, I'm looking at it like, I don't know, but also...
I kind of want to know.
Bought it for my grandson for Christmas. Can't use because you have to buy certain games. My older son... that knows just about every game in the system. He says VR system. Like, yeah, okay. So this guy's an idiot because he bought it for games that aren't compatible. This guy said cheap and it didn't work. I returned it. Didn't meet my expectations. The way it sits in the kids' heads, the weight of the headset caused it to fall off. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to believe that there is a better way to do it.
Well, like I said, there's strap attachments for it exist on they're for the Labo VR, but this is similarly shaped, so I would like to hope that it'll work, and we'll see. If we get them in, I'll try it out, because I would love to at least be able to strap it to my head, but really all I want to do is play it on my TV. But
I am sure Ryan cannot wait to have a Virtual Boy strap-on the website. I'm sure he's so excited.
For sure. What about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, so I've been playing more of David Jaffe's favorite game, Sons of Sparta. I really like it. I really genuinely am enjoying it. The voice acting is a little shit. I don't know why the voice acting is a little shit, because not all of it is bad. But there are a couple characters, and they start talking, it's like, oh, we're about to say Master of Unlocking, aren't we? There's just a couple things that are super weird. But it is, I think a lot of people may be missing the point that this is very much, it's not just a game done in a retro style. It is, there's a lot of it where it's made like it came out a long time ago, like, if that makes sense. It's not, it doesn't just look old. It's just there's a different feel to the game. It feels like an older game, which I think is somewhat interesting. I'm having a blast with it. I think it's really fun. The kids are enjoying watching it. Tiff is enjoying watching it. And she fucking hates watching through Metroidvanias or search actions, whatever. So that should speak to its quality. Really what I spent the most time on gaming this week was Jaws, the retro edition. You might have undersold it a little bit, Chris, because it's just such a brilliant update of the game, and really what I think is so fascinating about it is that they really didn't add all that much, right? Like, big picture.
Right, they didn't add a lot so much as they took what was there and fleshed it out and made it, like, they used what was there more than the original game did. They made better use of what was there.
Yeah, and it's just super fucking fun. I have long been a proponent of, the original Jaws being a pretty decent game. Not a great game, but a pretty good game. And this, man, after playing through this, I didn't finish it, not because it's a very long game or anything. They certainly didn't add a ton to it. Where, like, now the 30-hour experience of the Jaws Retro Edition. This is still a relatively short game that you could get through in, like, a relatively long sitting. But it really does make me want to see other older games. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, like, have their potential realized, right? Like, a lot of them would end up being LGN games. That would probably be the ones that you would want on here, but, like, I think
stop
there's
remaking good games and start remaking bad games.
Yeah, like, I think there's a good Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in that game somewhere. I think there is a decent game in there. It's just really cool. It looks really good. Obviously, it plays great on the Steam Deck. I'm just having a blast with it. It's awesome. So Monday was President's Day. And the only day that someone was not sick in the house was Monday. Roddy has been sick all week. Penn is feeling like shit. Tiff is feeling like shit. Like, everybody feels sick. I feel fine. Because, other than cancer, I really don't get sick. So Monday...
Well, when you do, you make it count.
I did, but I feel like I'm good for a bit. Like, now I can coast on old shit. So the only day that anybody felt good was Monday. So the kids had off of school for being President's Day, and they had really wanted to go see Iron Lung, the Markiplier movie. So I was like, fuck it. Like, whatever. We'll go catch a matinee of Iron Lung. And so I had never played the game. I'd seen, because they still watch Markiplier videos, and a bunch of other people that they watch on YouTube have been doing Iron Lung playthroughs and whatnot. And Roddy was like, Dad, I found a version of Iron Lung on Roblox. I was like, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. Don't do that. So I was really ultimately unfamiliar with the movie, or with the plot of the game, and going into the movie blind. And I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought it was really good. I don't think it's going to get Best Actor nominations by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a fucking thoroughly good time with that movie. And the thing that really pissed me off as we were watching that movie is because, like, originally I was just going to drop the kids off. I was like, all right, I'll just drop you guys off. I don't really need to spend movie theater prices to go see this thing that I ultimately I'm not. I don't have a dog in the fight, right? But the movie's rated R because he says fuck more than twice, and there's a lot of blood. And watching through this movie, what was so funny in the theater, it was me and my two 16-year-olds. And then there was a mom behind me with a group of like 15 to 16-year-olds. And then there was a dad on the other side of the theater with a group of like maybe 16 to 17-year-olds. Like, it was all of the adults were taking their kids to see this movie on President's Day because we all had off. And it did not need to be rated PG, or it did not need to be rated R. It really didn't. Like, and I know I'm probably a little bit more liberal and have, my kids have seen things probably before other kids have and whatnot. But man, like, so like he's in a submarine in an ocean of blood. Sure, that's a lot of blood technically, but like it wasn't gory. It wasn't like super gross. There's one moment towards the end of the film that's a little gross, but like nothing crazy to me. And like, this movie got an R rating on the language. And like, are we that ridiculous as people, where we're like, oh, then he said bad words. Oh boy, you got to be 18 to be able to go see this movie because the YouTubey guy said fuck a few times. Like, it really pissed me off because I think it limits his movie unfairly. And it really made me think we should have something. This isn't groundbreaking, but we should really have something in between 13 and R. You know? Like, I'm not saying a 12-year-old should go see this movie, maybe, but 16, like my kids are, they should have been able to just go see this movie with their friends and have a blast and you know, throw popcorn that they would then clean up before they left because they're not fucking monsters. Yeah. But it was a good time overall. I don't know how interested you are in it. I mean, I imagine not very. But it was really well done. I was really impressed. It you know, if you would like to know my thoughts on what other movies could do an Iron Lung, you can go over to the StoneAgeGamer.com website.
There's a whole article about it.
Check out the blog, because I think I made some pretty strong arguments there. And then the last thing I did this week, because, you know, I'm me, I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 5. I finished that on February 17th. I'm keeping track of this shit this year. That was The Butcher's Masquerade. It was fucking insane. I am fully committed to the Cult of Carl. I just absolutely fucking love that series. Cannot wait for book 8. It's planned to be a 10-book series. I'm devastated that book 8 is coming out, and I will then have to wait for 9 and 10. It's just so fucking brilliant. I think everybody should read it. It's fucking awesome. So I decided, though, I wanted to take a little bit of a break, and I've had this book for a little while that my Aunt Leslie had given to me because it was relatively well received, and it was supposed to do with video games. And it's books Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by, I believe it's Gabrielle Zevin, and it is So I started that book on the 17th. I finished it today. That sounds right. Like I loved the book. Today is the 20th. It's a full book. I read it from the 17th to the 20th, and like you would think that I absolutely adored it. And I quite liked it, but there was a moment in the book that if anybody else has read this book that is listening to me say this, I need somebody to tell me whether or not it's accurate. There's a moment in the back half of the book where we shift narrative and tone so dramatically that I wish somebody would have warned me, because I would have skipped over that section of the book, and I think I would have enjoyed the book more without it, because it was such a dramatic tone switch. Because the whole book is told, like a book in a regular narrative, and then a big thing happens, and I don't want to throw out spoilers, really, but a big thing happens, and the book then switches to a narrative description with the character dialogue of a massively multiplayer online RPG set in the Pioneer West. And, like, it's the conversations that characters would have in an MMO is, like, what you're reading in the book. And I wanted to fucking rip my eyeballs out of my head because I just hated it so fucking much. But I don't know if it's accurate to what it sounds like when you play an MMO. Because I know you don't know this either, Kris. You were not an EverQuest person. You didn't play Final Fantasy XI. I think I played like 10 minutes of Final Fantasy XI, went, nope, this shit ain't for me, and just never went back to them. But it is so jarring. Like, jarring to the point where, with that in the book, I would give this like a 4 out of 10. Taking that out of the book, I probably would have been in like a 7.5 out of 10. Like, I hated it that much. Because it's just that section, and it's so cliched, and it's so tropey, and then it just goes back and totally tone switches. The narrative shifts again. It was crazy. But it's called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Yeah, it was weird. I finished the book in 3 days, and I fucking hated that part so much. I'm so angry about it. Because I just read that part today. It's like still fresh in my mind, and I want to flip a desk now that I'm talking about it again. But anyway, I think we talked about it at the beginning of the year. I wanted to read more this year, so here we are on February 20th. I finished my 5th book of the year already, which is not all that impressive, but considering how much I've read in the last couple of years, I feel pretty good about it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah. Okay. That's what I got.
Well, yeah, I guess that's all you got. That's all I got. Let's go to bed. Let's call it a night.
Punching out, Maverick.
Yeah, that was fun. It's a good time. There's a lot of week old news.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, fellas. That is our show. Join us next time. What?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Others. You fucking exclusionary prick.
What, fellas is gender neutral, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, join us next time for the SAG Cartoon Express.
You gatekeeping asshole.
We will be watching Mega Man Season 2, Episode 9, Campus Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good feeling about this one. The Mega Man cartoon was pretty solid fun. Even though it wasn't always necessarily the best thing in the world, it was good enough. Anywho's, we're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ali. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.